Okay, so who's the first character then? So there's some changes. For some reason I grouped into one for Gigas and Lucky, Chloe, and Paul. But let's just look at Akuma first. Geese got nerfed, deserved it too, big fat cunt. Yeah, it's alphabetical. I might skip some characters if I just don't know them at all. For example, Eddie. I'm just gonna skip Eddie. I don't know anything about Eddie. I don't know anything. Let me try to move this so that you can read everything. This is going to be a little bit difficult, but we'll make it work. I promise. If you skip law, I'm gonna kill you IRL. Alright, let's look at these while this is loading. So during Rage 11432, it is now possible to hit a spinning opponent with this move. Change the thing that's done. And fixed an issue in which the charged version of this move could not be avoided by jumping. Weird, but okay. Yeah, that's a huge buff, of course. But it means that's just kind of in line with every other Rage art, right? So I can click on the names if I want. It's going to be easier for me to just scroll. There. Is Akuma hard? Some people say he's the most execution-heavy character in the game. I would argue that's Eliza, but he's definitely up there. He's one of the hardest characters in the game for sure. And he's not one of those characters that's just like you can pick up and play him easy, but to be good with him, you have to learn the execution. He's just hard straight out of the gate. He's really hard to play. But he's one of the best characters in the game. I'd say in Season 2, top 15. I don't know if I'd put him. He's close to top 10, at the very least. Some people would say he is, some people would say he isn't. And the people who say he isn't is because they would say he's top 10, but they think that the execution requirement for Akuma being top 10 matters a lot more than some other people do. So it just kind of comes down to how good he is, how you value execution in terms of putting characters on a tier list. But he's insane. Got big ambitions. I got like 4 or 5 characters I want to learn, Akuma being one of them. I got 10, so yeah, you play who you want. Execution over tier. Well, yeah. That's why no one plays Akuma. That's how most people feel. You're absolutely right. I don't play Akuma because I just don't really care for Akuma. I don't really care to play him. I only played him in Third Strike. And even then, I didn't really play him too much. I played Chun-Li. I played Chun-Li, Ibuki, and Q. But let's look at his moves. So Core Circle Forward 1. Change your damage from 14 to 12. I need to turn off counter hit. Core Circle Forward 2. Same thing. Yeah, practical over on paper. Yeah. Well, he is a practical character because he's so good. Alisa is someone who's theoretically decent on paper, but when you go into a game, practically, she's fucking trash. Akuma isn't one of those because he does have a high execution requirement, but he's very good. Has to be on counter hit, I think. I can't remember. Yeah, he is really cool. But it's not enough to make me want to play him over other characters, especially since he's a Street Fighter character. I'll play him in Street Fighter. I'd play him in Street Fighter 5 if he didn't look like a goddamn ape, but in Tekken 7, I already have too many characters I like playing. Oh, I just got the Wongs playing. That was kind of weak. Half circle back 1. Change the damage to 13. Okay. Core circle back 4. Change the damage to 13. Okay. I mean, who even uses this Tatsu? Everyone does the light Tatsus because you can combo it into the DP. No one uses this Tatsu. Why would you? I mean, non-Rick and Morty IQ isn't my fault. 1. Reduced the strength of the pushback and made the move easier to land. What? What does that even mean? Made the move easier to land. Okay. Sorry, I scrolled down a little bit too much. Forward 3. Changed the frame advantage when blocked from -9 to -4. Okay. I mean, this was just a poke. This was a poke that was never used because it was minus... Like, why would you use this as a poke? So, it's a buff, but it's just kind of more of a, hey, he gets a poke. And now it's +7 on hit. So, it's a really good poke as well. This is +7 on a hit. So, you're still losing your turn. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this. This is a weird setup for me. I'm used to just having the desktop capture, and when I click on this, you can see it, but it's not fucking working. Yeah, so basically, it turned this move from being complete trash to a really good poke. Because you're still losing your turn with it being -5 after you do this. Yeah, you can't cancel it into anything. But if it hits, then you're doing 16 damage. Yeah, +7, you can do something else. So, does it... Oh, it doesn't knock away. Oh my god. So he can still do a clean hit after doing this. So... Man, that clean hit distance is so much farther than Elisa's. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, that's a nice little change for Akuma. Forward 4. Changed the frame advantage when blocked from -9 to -5. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. This wall splats too, by the way. What is a clean hit exactly? So, what a clean hit is... It depends on the character. So, for Akuma in particular, if you get a clean hit with his down 3, and this is how it also is for Eliza, same move. If you get a clean hit with his down 3, then it will combo into his core circle back Tatsu. So you can do down 3, core circle back 3, and then that leads to a combo. Only on clean hit. If this isn't clean hit, then that's not a true combo. So that's what it does for Akuma. For some characters like Paul, if you do a clean hit with Death Fist, then it'll do more damage. Basically, what clean hit is you're just... It's like a meaty if you play 2D fighters. It's like a meaty hit. You're really close to your opponent. You're getting your whatever appendage it is all the way up in their business. But it's not how it is for all moves, because this will only come up as clean hit if it has a special property, if that happens. So like down 3 does a clean hit. Down 4, it won't, because it doesn't have a special property if you hit them with that meaty. I only play Tekken, the superior game. Let me switch to Paul real quick so I can kind of give you a different example. So, like, with Paul, I can't think of any other characters with clean hits, except Akuma, Eliza, and Paul. There are more. I know there are more, but... Yeah, so, like, if I That was not a death fist. So, like, if I death fist, you can see that said clean hit, and it did 54 damage. If I do it from about here, then it'll do 36, because it wasn't a clean hit. So that's what a clean hit is. Again, I can't think of any more characters, but I think you get the idea. Where's Akuma? There he is. I'm out here letting you look even slower at patch notes. Law has a clean hit, but it's going to get removed. Oh yeah, he does. I don't remember what it is, though. Is it his Dragon Tail? No, it's not his Dragon Tail. I can't remember what it is. I don't play Law. Yeah, I don't play Law, so... Anyway, forward 4. Shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 4 frames. That's gonna lead to some fucked up wall combos. Okay, so that's just a buff. And change the opponent's behavior when the move lands as a counter hit. What does it do now? Where is... There it is. Oh, wrong move. Oh, right now it screws. So this isn't going to counter hit combo anymore. Okay. So it's not as bad as I thought. I thought this was going to lead to a combo still, but it doesn't. So actually that's kind of more of an... It's still a buff, but it's more of an adjustment, I think. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know. It was back 1-2-2. Well, when we go over Law, we'll see it probably. I can't do the just frame. I don't even know what the notation for it is. I want to hit it. I did it once. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, you could, if I remember right, you could combo with this like this. And then if you add meter, fuck, I keep thinking it's just Magic 4. And then you get a combo off of that. And it does an insane amount of damage and has wall K, and now he doesn't have that anymore off counter hit, which is really good. Presumably. It might just be a straight buff and you end up being closer to your opponent after that counter hits. Retry the counter hit combo? Nah, not today. Forward 1 plus 2. Change the damage from 515 to 817. So that is a... So previously it was 20 damage. So it's more damage. It's 5 more damage. Okay. So what is this? Oh, I have my buttons wrong. Ah, it's this. This is a good move. We're ground like Law's forward 4-3, forward 4-3. I'll be honest, I don't remember Law's notation at all. So I don't know what that move is. Change the frame advantage to +5 to +7. Okay. Increase the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Change the opponent's behavior when hit in midair. We'll see later, because that move is also in the patch notes. Okay. Wait, it's forward. I don't even know how to get this to work in midair. I guess if I do this. I don't know why it's hitting down. I'm not pressing down. Does he have a running? That must be a running move. Okay. So that must be different somehow. Okay. It's getting replaced. He's getting a move replaced? That's weird. That's really weird. Down forward 1-2. So this is a nub buff. Change the frame advantage upon hit from +5 to +7. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Change the hit behavior in midair. Okay, so it's just... The hit behavior is going to be the same. So it's just the same change, except with down forward 1 plus 1, 2 instead of forward 1 plus 2, because it's the same move. Okay, and then down 1, 2 changed the damage from 8 to 6. Back 1 reduced the damage from 17 to 15, reduced the strength of the pushback, and made the move easier to land. Oh, fuck me. Really? Holy shit. Well, maybe they changed the pushback so that's easy to punish. What is it now on block? Reduced the strength of the pushback and made them weird, because it already doesn't have a lot of pushback. So that's kind of weird, but maybe it's so, like, if you hit it at the tip range, every character can punish it, maybe? Maybe that's what they're doing? That's weird. So Akuma just got straight buffs. He got some damage reduction to his combos. I'm guessing that they changed the damage on these so that he can no longer do a touch of death anymore. But he still has a combo starter off of his counter hit down 1 that can kill you. So new move legit puts the opponent at your ass. So back turn. That's why I say, see, it's weird. Well, at least Law has back turn moves, though, right? So maybe it's supposed to be so that you can combo into some weird back turn shenanigans. I don't know. And then he has a new move down forward 1, 2. I have no idea what that is. Alisa, my main. Let's see if she got some buffs. Because, remember, I have been saying that she is lower mid-tier. So let's see. Don't tell me if she got buffs or not. I want to be surprised. See, in Season 1, I said she was one of the worst characters in the game. She got some of the most significant buffs of every character in the game. Season 2, I've been saying that she's much better, but she's still lower mid-tier. And no one believes me because no one bothers to learn the matchup. Again, more people know the Eliza matchup than the Alisa matchup. So... oh, they will have a move that will push back less, but okay. Well, it'll probably be in one of the Season 3 trailers, so I'll try to find it in there. Excuse me. Alright, Alisa. My main squeeze, as Tiny Tina would call it. Back 1 plus 2. Fixed an issue in which the advanced input was unavailable after missing or being blocked. What? She doesn't have back 1 plus 2. What? Do they mean this? Well, that's a typo. I'll have to look at the Japanese patch notes later and see if that's different, because she doesn't have a back 1 plus 2. And I have never heard of this issue before, so this might be for a different character entirely. No one cares about Alisa. Forward 2 plus 3. Fix an issue in which the move cannot be input while running. That's her rage drive. That is an issue. I didn't know that was the cause of the issue, but that was an issue. Some moves are wrong notation in these patch notes is also one more flaw. Yeah, that happened in Season 3 too. I think when they did that, it was right in the Japanese version. But assuming that they do mean 1 plus 2 and not like while rising 1 plus 2 or anything, it's probably this. Because her other 1 plus 2 moves are either get the chainsaws out or capital punishment. So, and that's all she has for 1 plus 2, so. Oh yeah, and this, but I highly doubt that it's this. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, both of these moves, this move is only good against fireballs, really, and this move is just kind of trash. So, I don't know. Oh yeah, let me scroll up. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Alright, 2, 3, 4. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -19 to -13. And shorten the recovery time of the move when the move hits by 3 frames. Okay, so, 234 is completely fucking useless because it's a seeable low. That's what 234 is. Right now it's launch punishable. It says it's minus 19. So right now this is just fucking garbage. The reason why it could be scary is because she has this mid. So if you crouch to 2-3, then to try to block the low without reacting to it, then you can get hit by this mid and it can wall splat and it does some damage. But 2-3-4 is seeable. It's very seeable. So no one ever uses this. If this was unseeable, then maybe it would have some use, but it's terrible. Even if you delay it. It's completely unusable. It being minus 13 now instead of minus 19 is completely insignificant. Why would you make it non-launch punishable? Because the move is useless right now. Because it's a seeable low that, yeah, it does a hard knockdown and 20 damage, but it's off of a string. It's incredibly slow, and it barely does any damage, and you get no guaranteed follow-ups off it. It's just completely useless. It's... If you're playing against someone who knows what they're doing, this is more you may as well just use Snake Edge. You really may as well, because at least this leads to a combo. At least there's risk reward to it. This is just, oh yeah, 20 damage and a hard knockdown for seeable launch punishable low. And without the benefits of like down 3, because on down 3 with counter hit, this leads to a combo. And even though it's seeable and launch punishable and only does 17 damage, at least if it hits, then you get a mix-up off it, right? And again, counter hit launcher. This is just, it does nothing. On counter hit, oh god damn it. On counter hit, this also does nothing. It's useless. Yeah, it has Oki, but you may as well use this if you want Oki. Like, it doesn't do anything. And the Oki is irrelevant when it's seeable. Because it's seeable, it's a low, it's launch punishable. You getting Oki for a launch punishable seeable low in a string for 20 damage, not worth it. It's never worth it. It's a trash move. And it being minus 13 now isn't going to change that. It's still trash. And shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 3 frames. Again, it's not gonna make this move usable. It's still terrible, especially against Kazuya, Josie, or Eddie, who can launch that. It's completely useless. What you may as well do, and the other reason for it, is because you can hit confirm 2-3 into the 3. So, what do I mean by that? So, normally the second hit gets blocked, right? So the first hit's guaranteed on normal hit. Sorry, when you hit the first hit, the second hit isn't guaranteed on normal hit. That's what I meant to say. But you can hit confirm this because if this is counter hit, then this whole string connects. So you can hit confirm this into the full string, and it does 43 damage and leads to a wall splat. And the second hit is minus 9. So it's completely safe. So you may as well just fish for counter hit with this move if you're ever going to use it. Instead of doing this weird, oh, I'm going to mix you up with this seeable low mid, it's completely useless. And again, changing this from minus 19 to minus 13, it's not going to do anything. It's still just unusable. I usually like to try to find use out of these kinds of moves, but even I can't find a single use for this move. It is complete trash. And it's still trash. At least it's not launch punishable, I guess, but it's really only something that Alisa is unusable in general. If we're talking about Tekken 6 Alisa, then I'd agree with you. Tekken 7 Alisa, though, is pretty solid. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the only real reason for this change is because you know how many scrubby Alisa players there are, right? Like, Alisa players, in general, are fucking trash. They keep using shit like this. They keep doing this without hit confirming it. because people don't know it's -10. They do this without hit confirming us because people don't know that that's launch punishable, by the way. And the second hit for both of those hits are high. There are people that don't know that this puts you in crouching and that you have to do a 13 frame while rising punish. There are a lot of people, even in really high ranks, that don't know down 3 is launch punishable. Yes, it's launch punishable in case you didn't know, because she's forced to go into this down back 1 stance on hit or block or whiff. So there are people that don't know that, like, in boot you can just sidewalk everything left and you'll avoid everything, even if she cancels it into the 1. If you're just sidewalking, she just can't hit you with fucking anything. There are a lot of people that don't know that, so a lot of Alisa players use those moves online over and over and over and over again, and they end up getting, like, blue ranks with them, because people just don't know this matchup. It's probably the matchup people know the least, from my experience. So this move is only for the people that play Alisa that way. So at least if you're using this move like a fucking scrub, and there are Alisa players that actually use this move online, believe it or not. I've come across them. Too many of them, in fact. If they use this move, at least they won't get launched. So they won't be discouraged from doing a bunch of dumb gimmicky shit with Alisa. That, I think, is the idea that they have. You are one of them. Yeah, I'm one of those Alisa players that do this all the time. Yeah, and do capital punishment, because I know my opponent won't sidestep it. Oh yeah, I use Snake Edge all the time online, by the way. But for people that actually use Alisa properly at high level against people that know the matchup, still useless. Still useless. Yeah, and if you don't believe me, Alisa is one of the most used characters in tournament. Usually when you have the statistics on character usage in a tournament, Alisa's up there. Online, she's kind of lower to mid, but in tournament, she's really high. But you never see any Alisa player outside of, like, Cuddlecore and Chanel. Or sometimes Kawaii Face Miles, who use Alisa and get into higher than top 64. And you know why? Because they go into tournament with Alisa and they do this shit, and then they die. Because people know how to play against them. And then these Alisa players like, fuck this, I'm just gonna go back online. So at least when they're in a tournament and they decide to use this move against Knee, they won't get launched for it. They'll just get sidestepped and then launched, and then they have to do an off-axis combo. But yeah, useless. Useless. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry, that's a weird change. I went on a bit of a tangent, I'm sorry. 3-2, first hit, change the attack stop from 14 to 13 frames. Ooh. So you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Alisa has a 13 frame punish. She didn't have this was a 13 frame punish before. This is natural, a normal hit, which means that this is now a 13 frame punish for Alisa. This is a huge buff. This is huge. This is a natural and normal hit. And it puts her in chainsaws. This is huge. So previously, this used to be a 14 frame punish, but there was no reason to use it. That was a 16 frame, sorry. Because you had... Why am I not doing it? You had this. Forward 3-2, which was a 14 frame launcher. So there was no reason to ever use 3-2 as a punish. Ever. There was not a single situation where you would use it. Because it doesn't even have more reach than 3-2 has more reach than... Or forward 3-2 has more reach than normal 3-2. Sorry, they have the same exact notation. So now that this is 13 frames... She has a 13 frame punish, which is huge, because normally, her 12 frame punish is this, which is 1 less damage, but she has chainsaws, and if you remember from Season 2, chainsaws got fucking buffed. That's what took her out of, for me, and I think most Alisa players would agree, that's what took her out of being lower tier, like around where Yoshimitsu and Lei and Eddie are now, into like, around like lower average. Right? And now that she has this, she's going to be pretty good. She's going to be around, like, probably higher than where a lot of people who, again, don't know the matchup, they say that that she is now. I'm talking too fast. This alone is going to put her in, like, above average. For sure. Law is better than Alisa. Fuck that. Just remove her from Tekken already. You sound like the main man. Yeah, this is fucking huge. I forgot if you can hit from this. I barely use this move. I started using it a bit as a poke, and it was pretty good as a poke, because it was safe. It was -9. But I'm glancing at this and it says -12 now. But it was pretty decent as a poke in some situations, but my god, that's huge. What's wrong with me? I mean, main man sweet. That's not an alt. Anyway, yeah, that's a huge buff. That's huge. So now Alisa doesn't have a punishment for 11 frames, and that's it. She has a 10-frame punish, she has a 12-frame punish, she has a 13-frame punish, she has a 14-frame punish, she has a 15-frame punish, and she has a 16-frame punish. Although, the 16-frame punish won't work on crouching opponents, so in that case, then you do this as a 16-frame punish. But, yeah, now she just doesn't have an 11-frame punish, which is, again, fucking huge. So on the, it says 6 hit, this is when the chainsaws come out, so this is the 2. Change the frame advantage from block from -9 to -12, and change the frame advantage from +1 to +5. That's big. +1 to +5 is really big. And the reason why it's really big is because their fastest move in chainsaws is not that. It's this, and it's 12 frames. So essentially, because she's forced in the chainsaws off this, when she does this right now, she's at -1. Essentially. And obviously, if you hit Alisa while she's in chainsaws, then the chainsaws go away. So, what you do with Alisa now when you use this move is you immediately go into evasion if you think your opponent's going to try jabbing you out of it. Yeah, but now that's +5, you don't have to do that. So, I mean, yeah, and some people are going to say, this is 10 frames. Yeah, but it's an anti-air, so it doesn't really count. Can we just skip Alisa, please? No one cares. Hey, law player, listen, not everything's about you. I know you like to think it is, because you're a law player, but it's not, alright? Typical law players. My main's better than your main. No one cares about your main. Look at my main. Anyway, yeah, -9 to -12 is absolutely fair for this, too. I 100% agree with... Because this should not be safe if it becomes a punish. It shouldn't. Especially with it being mid-mid in the chainsaws. Yeah, it should be -12. That just makes sense. But yeah, that's really good. That's really significant. I'm gonna have to look at matchups and frame and characters framed out with Alisa again, because right now, if something's -13, I just do this. Because she doesn't... This is a 13 frame, but yeah, this is huge. This is fucking huge, dude. 432, change the damage from 1320 to 1017 makes sense, just reducing the combo damage on her 14 frame punish. It is pretty high. Like, it's 58 damage for a 14 frame punish. It's really good. It's really, really good. So bringing it down a bit makes sense. I agree with that. Even though it's a nerf, I agree with that 100%. 431 plus 2, change the opponent's behavior when hit. Change the move to send the opponent spinning when it hits them in midair. Okay, so then the combo off this is pretty easy to see what the combo's going to be. It's you do that and then you do that. So right now, how much does this do? It does 37, and then if we go into here, so it's gonna do 60 damage. That's gonna be a 60 damage combo. I can't remember what this does. I think it's slightly less than this. Yeah, this is 61 and that will be 60-ish. Actually, no, it will be less, right? No, it won't, because that was our 432. I was misremembering. Weird. I think what this really depends on is how far they go, right? I think it's really nice because this will probably have a lot of versatility at the wall. Which is something Alisa doesn't have. She doesn't have good wall conversions. She doesn't have versatility when it comes to, like, changing combos depending on how close you are to the wall or not. Stuff like that. But this will probably be good for that, I think. It really depends on how far they go. Right? Because it says change the opponent's behavior when hit. So, I'm guessing what that probably means then is, it's gonna either make them be closer or farther. And with how much they move now, I'm assuming it's gonna be closer. Because otherwise, there's no way this is gonna hit as a combo. So, we'll have to see. That's one of those things we'll have to see. But it's a buff. Like, it's a buff 100%. Because forward 3-1 plus 2 is practically useless right now. Because you only really want to do forward 3-2 as a punish. And if the opponent ducks the high and you want to try catching him with the mid, the mid is so unsafe that it's just not usable. So they turn this move from being pretty much completely unusable, except in some very, very rare circumstances, to probably really good. So another buff. Another pretty big buff too, I'm assuming. Boot. 1, 2, 1, 3 plus 4. Change damage from 12, 13, 5, 7, 28 to 12, 13, 10, 10, 30. So, yeah, buffs. So that's 3, 5, 8. That's 8 damage. So it's 10 extra damage now, which I'm assuming is because of her new back 4-4, which can go into boot, which I'm assuming is for wall conversion so that you can go into boot into this. And you'll do that full string at the wall, and now it does 10 more damage. So, I mean, so fuck you. So I saw the, previously I just saw the fuck you, and I thought that I didn't see the other stuff before it. I'm ignoring you, Jiro, I'm ignoring you. During boot 3, move can now also be performed with during... What the fuck? I'm tired. I am too. Don't worry. I am too. What? Dual boot 3 and dual boot 4 can be done in dual boot? What the fuck? What? This is dual boot when she has her chainsaws out. So now... That... What the fuck? That's fucking huge. Holy shit. She can use her legs in dual boot? What the hell? That's crazy. So, yeah, so she has this slide now. She has this low in dual boot, and she has this launcher, which is incredibly unsafe. That's just cheating. Fucking gimmick. I mean, it is. You're not wrong, though. It is, because both of those moves can just be sidewalked. So, when she's in dual boot here, like if I do that, for example, and she goes into dual boot, I can just do that. And you can do those with 3 and 4 too. So it absolutely is a gimmick, but, it's still really, really good to have. Now, what I wonder is, since boot 3 leads to a combo on counter hit, how that's going to work with her chainsaws. And how the combo's going to look for this. That's what I'm more interested in. But, yeah, that's it's a pretty significant buff. Even though, again, you can just sidewalk them left, and it's not like it improves the tracking or anything in dual boot. The thing with dual boot is because you can cancel dual boot, you can do these, like, mini boots into like a stop to try to make your opponent whiff, or you can go to the side like this and, you know, just kind of bait out your opponent and wait for them to swing and then whiff punish them, right? That's at least what I do in dual boot. Not a lot of people do it that way, but then again, I play Elisa much differently than most people. I do fucking hit confirms with Elisa off this, right? So I play her very differently, but looking at from the way I play her, what I can see then is how this is going to be scary is because right now she doesn't really have any lows off this, and in order for her to do a low, she'd have to do something like that. So what she can do instead now is she can do these feints here and go like this and then do some weird backflip hippy dippy shit, and then at some point she can go in and then do a low. And so now your opponent can't just stand there and wait for you to come in, because that's usually what your opponent does when you start doing that stuff. They just kind of wait, because they know what you're trying to do. But now that you actually have a mix-up out of this, that's pretty huge. It's actually really, really good. It's a really good buff. And more importantly, she can step on people's toes and chainsaws now, which is all I want. That's the main reason why I main Alisa, is so that I can step on people's toes. And now I can do that with chainsaws. I don't just have to cut them off. I can step on them and then cut the entire foot off, because I've already done my job stepping on the toes. So I'm quite happy with that. Alright, down forward 1+2. This is her armor move. It's this one. This was a new move in Season 2. So, change the frame advantage on guard from -14 to -13, which is huge, because now it can't be launch punished by anyone. Because, as we all know, there are characters that have 14 frame launch punishes. Alisa is one of them. The Mishimas are one of them. I don't know who else has a 14 frame launch. I know there are characters. I think Josie does, I think. But now it's -13, it means it can't be launch punished by anyone, which is great. Yeah, it's just really good. I think that's a good spot for it to be at. It was already a pretty decent armor move, but you really only wanted to use it if you had a hard read on your opponent. Because, since it's -14, especially in some matchups, if you do this, and they block it, you're gonna get hit pretty fucking hard because it's -14. But now with it being -13, this is something that's much safer for you to just throw out. Even on opponents that like sidestepping or something, and you think they're gonna do like a sidestep into a move, you can do that. That's really nice. It's pretty huge too. Like, you would think, oh, it's -14 to -13, it's not that good, but it's pretty huge considering it used to be launch punishable, now it's not. That's really good. Shorten the recovery animation by 1 frame when the move hits. Which is weird because that was already guaranteed. So I don't see what that does. Maybe it's going to make something else guaranteed that's 1 frame faster, but I can't think of anything. I guess it just makes it easier for that to be guaranteed and easier for it to be consistent online, maybe? I don't know. Change the opponent's behavior when hit. That could mean a lot of things. Maybe that means that the down one isn't guaranteed anymore. Maybe. Maybe it just is a hard knockdown now, and you don't get that. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. So that could be, like, here's a buff, but here's also a nerf to it at the same time, so it's not insane. And if this means that the down one isn't guaranteed anymore after that hits, I would agree with that. I think that would be a good change. Change the move to send the opponent spinning when it hits them in midair. Okay, so that just means then that when she's in chainsaws, because she does have combos that come from chainsaws now, particularly boot 4 now. That just means she can do this and it'll combo. Because right now, her only screw off of that is this, and I don't think that would actually hit off of boot 4. It might. I don't know. It might not. But this definitely will. So, yeah, that is just, I think a change to complement some of the changes she has and increase the range of the attack. Yeah, that's pretty huge. It depends on how much range, but I mean, it already has a ton of range. I don't see why it should have more range, but, alright. Yeah, that's a big buff too. Daisy Chain. Fixed an issue in which opponents' behavior would differ when they were hit in mid-air from when down back 2-2 was used. So, if you do that, it does that. And if you do that, it does that. You can see how they don't go flying as much if you go in the chainsaws. yeah, I mean, it's not that significant because no one uses daisy chaining combos anyway because it's not a combo move, but it was a thing and it's not anymore. I don't know. I always saw this as like kind of intentional so that you could get like a down one off it if you wanted to, but it's still like, why would you use it? So I don't know. Maybe it, I don't know. Oh, it's not there anymore. Spot the timing at which the right hand is restored by 5 frames. Oh, no fun. No fun. I want to be able to move with no hand. No fun. This is like in Season 2 when they got rid of you being able to spam the rev. The 3 and 4 with her chainsaws. Now they're getting rid of more fun, unique stuff with Alisa, like her hand coming back really slow. So when she does that into while running 2, it looks like she's hitting you without a hand, and now she is, and that's kind of lame. That's a huge nerf, by the way. Alisa and fun, stop lying. We talked about back 4-4, but since I'm here, I'm with Alisa right now. I'll just go over it one more time. So back 4-4, I'll go over it briefly. So right now, her move off of back 4-4 is back 4-3. So right now, with this move, what you can do with it is if you just hit back 4, then you get a combo off it. So what you want to do is you want to mix up back 4 for counter hit fishing and back 4-3. Because both of these are unsafe. But if you're mixing it up, then no one's going to want to punish the back 4-3 because the second hit leads to a hard knockdown on counter hit. And Elisa's Oki, while not amazing, still not bad. So I see for back 4-4 and in the trailer, we were seeing combos that she was doing with it. But if you think of some of her, like, staple combos, you know, how the hell am I gonna get back 4-4 off that, right? Maybe if you do a side turn combo like this, then you can do back 4-4 for a wall conversion. Because she does struggle with not just side combos, because this is basically the best thing you can get off a side combo with Alisa. She also struggles really bad with wall conversion off a side combo too, because you basically have to just do like this or to try to get a wall combo, or just do 4. You have to be at a very specific distance at the wall in order to be able to convert off of a off-axis combo with Alisa. So maybe the idea is that you do this into back 4-4, but I don't know. And then the other thing is maybe like you're at the wall and you do this, and then say the wall is this doesn't lead to a wall spot, but the wall's right there. So you can go up, do back 4-4 into boot into 1-2, 1-3+4. Maybe. And since it does more damage, maybe that conversion will do more damage than the normal wall combo. Like if you do like this as a wall combo, or not that, or this, or this, and the damage is getting increased, but I don't know. It's one of those things where we're gonna have to see it. I don't think it's gonna be that useful in the neutral, because back 4-3 is already so good. The only way it could be used in the neutral is if it was just a straight up bad version of back 4-3, but it was a high. So it was like, maybe it was like, it's safe, it's -9, and it does the same thing on counter hit as back 4-3 does. Leads to a hard knockdown in Oki, but it's a high, maybe? But based on what we saw in the trailer, it looks like a mid. So I don't know. It's gonna be one of those we'll have to wait and see, but that's what it seems like to me. And it can lean to dual boot too, but still, I don't know. We're gonna have to see, I guess. Up 4-3, change the attack stop from 20 frames to 17. Okay. I'm just gonna stop pretending Alisa doesn't exist. You might, because these are huge buffs. All of these are fucking huge. We're not even done. She has so much more. Okay, but up 4-3. So if you didn't know about up 4-3, up 4-3 is trash to use in the neutral. There's a reason why you only see it used in, maybe they will remove her. Nah, she has, plot armor. She's a main character, so she can't get removed for at least 2 more games. Get fucked. So with Cradle Star, you can just do that. And then counter hit them and then lead to a screw if you have a Magic 4. On block, this is just incredibly easy to shut down. So this being 17 frames now, just makes it easy to do in combos, but it's not going to make it a more useful move. Wong isn't here though, haha, get fucked. That's what you're saying now, but he's almost certainly going to be another character in Season 3. And the reason why I say that is because they kind of teased him in Leroy's trailer, because at the beginning of it, everyone thought it was Wong. Why the hell would they tease Wong and then bait and switch Wong mains with another character if they weren't bringing Wong to Season 3? Why would they? Because they hate Wong players, right? That's what you're gonna say. But I don't think so. Because I mean, think of Harada's mentality, right? Like, he doesn't hate people who main characters and like their characters. Just look at Zafina being in the game, right? Not a lot of people play Zafina, but people really wanted Zafina back. Zafina players really wanted Zafina back. So Harada brought Zafina back. Why would they tease Wong and then not bring him back? It doesn't make sense. It feels like the opposite of what the entire Tekken team would do. You know? Yeah, I'm hoping. I know I'm very biased, but I'm trying to think of it from an unbiased perspective, and I just think, like, if they were teasing, like, Ganryu or something, you know, if they had, like, a blue diaper or something, and that was, like, new non-sumo character, and then they just didn't bring Ganryu back, that'd be really fucking weird, right? Leroy equals Wong, but Wong and Leroy are both Wong. Even though they use completely different fighting styles and they don't look similar at all. Up forward 4-4. First hit, decrease the move's forward movement. Increase the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits or is blocked. Second hit, decrease the move's forward movement. Okay, so this is terrible. This is a huge nerf. And the reason why is because Elisa's hot kick is already one of the worst in the game. So they're making it even more useless by decreasing the distance between the opponent. So that means it's probably going to be like you can only do a hot kick here. So that's a huge nerf, actually. So that sucks. Wong is wank, but yes, your 200 IQ didn't get the joke. You're right, I have that Rick and Morty IQ. You were saying I didn't, but I do. Yeah, this is actually a huge nerf. If it's decreasing the move's forward movement, that's a huge nerf. It could also mean, though, it just means up and not up forward. Maybe they're different, but right now they're exactly the same, so I don't see why. What is it written down as in the move list? It is written as up forward, not up. So maybe they're going to be 2 separate properties now. So maybe this one will hit them closer and this one will hit them farther. So maybe there will be effectively no change to a hotkick. There are some hotkicks in the game now like that, but either it's completely insignificant or it's a big nerf. I don't know. Well, it could be a very small nerf. They could be barely decreasing the forward movement. Who knows? But either way, most people say that this hopkick is one of the worst in the game because it doesn't have a lot of range, and it can be launch punished by Josie, Katarina, or not Katarina, Eddie, and Kazuya. It's the only hopkick in the game, I think, that's launch punishable. So there might... No, I think there are a few more. I think Noctis's and Laws, maybe they are. I think they're floatable. I don't remember. But either way, it's one of the worst in the game. So look, they might be nerfing it. They might not be doing anything to it. Destructive form 1+2. Change the opponent's behavior when hit. This is the ballerina spin I was talking about before. No one uses it. Whatever. Forward 1. Change the frame advantage when blocked from 0 to +2. Wow. That, oh my god. So, In case you didn't know, this move is 12 frames. So with this being +2 on block, that means that this will trade with a jab. Which, if it trades with a jab, they're getting a jab for 3 damage, but still. This being +2 on block now is a pretty good buff. Especially when this is pretty much Elisa's only poking tool in destruction stance. I mean, you could argue that this is too, but in terms of like proper poking, that's really it, because everything else is so minus that you get knocked out of it. So that's really good. That's a really big buff. Destructive form down 2. Change attack stop from 30 frames to 26. Okay. Whatever. 4th hit. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -14 to -12 and +4 on hit. Holy shit. So that means this move is actually useful now. So, to give you a quick, should be +1 and not +2. Yeah, I agree. +2 is pretty big. +1 would have made more sense, because essentially then she's at -1, on block. But then again, Chainsaw Stance is supposed to be very oppressive. That's kind of the whole point of it. It's supposed to be the exact opposite of how she is outside of Chainsaw Stance, which is very defensive and poke heavy. So it makes sense considering what chainsaws are supposed to be. It's kind of supposed to work like you're playing a fucking anime fighter, but it's really, really good. Okay, so anyway, on to the difference between these two moves real quick. So previously, or right now anyway, this down 1 is faster. It does about the same amount of damage as down 2, and it's -12, which means can't be launch punished. Down 2, however, does slightly more. It does 1 more damage. You really can only get the full thing at the wall, and it's -14. And it's slower, and they both high crush. So there's no reason to ever do this move, even at the wall. But now that it's -12 on block and +4 on hit, what it means is that when you're at the wall, you can use this move, and not only can you use this move, but you can also hold the button to do more hits. So it'll do more damage now. It's the same on block as this, and it's +4. And they both high crush. So this is just really, really good at the wall now, or if you're at their side, like that. Yeah, that's a pretty big buff. But it really just changes that move from being pretty much useless to pretty good. Alright, last one. During destructive form, up 3 +4, 1. So that is this. Okay. I was reading that as up forward. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -10 to -13. Okay, that's a big nerf. But with how much this was pushed back anyway, you really couldn't punish it at -10 either way. So all it means now is that when you're Alisa and you do this, you have to do a whiff confirm. So if you don't know Alisa and you don't know the matchup, basically when you're in destruction form, you do this to try to make moves whiff. You can use this to avoid homing moves, believe it or not. And when you whiff, you do this as a punish. And normally, you can whiff confirm this, but you don't have to, because even though this is -10, it pushes them so far back on block, and I can show you this right now, that it's just completely irrelevant. Because you're not going to be able to punish you with that, and then you can just do another one, or you can back away. But with it being -13, that means a lot of characters are now actually going to be able to punish it. So it just makes sense. It's one of those things where it's like, either the pushback gets reduced, or it becomes more minus. And I think this makes a lot of sense for it to be -13 now. And not every character is going to be able to punish it with that pushback either way, so I think, again, though, you can whiff confirm this, though. Like, you can see how much time I have to actually hit a button here. So, if you're a good Alisa player, this isn't really going to make too much of a difference anyway. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent. This just means you're going to have to actually go in the training mode for Alisa more instead of just doing back 3 +4 all the time. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move is blocked. Again, same thing. Enable the move to cause a wall bound if it hits. That's really good. And change the move's behavior when hit in midair. Okay. Yeah, both pushback and the frames are worse, but that's fine, because we don't know what the pushback's going to be like. Because previously in Tekken patches, sometimes it's been like, the pushback has been reduced, and the pushback has been like, you get pushed back here to you get pushed back here. It's very insignificant. So we don't really know what the pushback's going to be, but maybe it's just making it so that's -13 with all characters, which again, shouldn't really matter as long as you're actually confirming this. And since it causes a wall bound now, it's a give and take. You're getting a really big buff, but you're getting a big nerf. But it's still not launch punishable. That's the other thing. This is still -13, not 14, and that's very, very important. Because what it means then is that this is still incredibly useful, even if it gets blocked. You don't have to worry about it. You're not getting launched for it against another Alisa or Mishima or someone like that. So I'd say it's still a pretty big buff considering it wall bounce. And again, the pushback and the -10 to -13, completely irrelevant if you actually play Alisa well. If you actually practice these things with her and you can actually whiff confirm this, it's completely irrelevant for the most part. So, yeah, that's Alisa. It's launch punishable, though. Oh, wow, Kazuya perfect electric wind god fist. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. It's gonna happen once in a million years. And it's gonna happen once in a billion years online. I'm not too concerned about it. And even if you do have a Kazuya who can do that, like, if you're playing against Ryan Hart, for example, just don't use the move. That's all. Just don't use it. You know, it's not like it's an essential part of a toolkit. It's just a really good move right now that seems to be made even better. So that's Alisa. That's Alisa's patch. Just never attack and only block. I mean, if you're playing against Ryan Hart, then, yeah, that's pretty good advice. So, let me get rid of these real quick so they're not the buzzing. Alisa, big buffs. All of these people, all of you motherfuckers who have been saying, that have been trying to say to me, nah, Alisa's not below average, she's really good. She's higher tier, she's way above average now. Look at these fucking buffs she got. She got a ton. I'd say the buffs she got in this patch are more significant than she got in Season 2. And in Season 2, she got the most significant buffs of any character in the game. Any character. So, yeah, try telling me that she wasn't below average in Season 2. I would agree with you that she's really good at lower to intermediate levels. And if you don't know the matchup, she's really good. But higher levels, she's not that great. That's why you never really see her in tournament. And now with these buffs, it seems to me, based on what I'm reading and on paper, that she's going to be, like, way above average. I'd say she has potential to be top 15 in Season 3. These buffs are really fucking good. A high tier character going for buffs, oh my fucking god. Yeah, I think a lot of it really rides on the back 4-4. I think that's a big part of it. Just what exactly does that do? What does it lead to? How does the wall combo off of 1-2-1-1 or 3+4? How much damage does it do, right? Is it better than her other options? What's the Oki like? You know, there's stuff like that, but just looking at the stuff we know is going to be really good, like she has a 13 frame punish now, it's really good, and puts her into chainsaws now. This one, you know, that is just huge. That's huge. That alone is going to put her at least at, like, where everyone else is at. That alone. And then you throw everything else on top of that. She's looking really, really good for Season 3. I think another big part of it, too, is how the other characters are getting changed. Because if we look back at, like, Akuma, for example, Akuma is one of the best characters in the game. And he just got, like, adjustments. So maybe they're kind of taking a Soul Calibur approach and making everyone insane. Because that kind of works for Soul Calibur, right? Soul Calibur is pretty balanced right now. And everyone just has insane cheap shit. So maybe they're doing that for this too, because this is the second character I've looked at, so I'm not sure. But yeah, Alisa buffs pretty good. Law still top 3. I'm gonna look at him next because I've been spending so much time on Alisa, and I know you want to see me look at Law, so I'll do that next. But yeah, so to all of you people who have been saying, like, you know, when I did a video on, I streamed on Twitch and I put it back on YouTube at some point, me making a tier list, and I put Alisa like below average, really, around well, below average. I can't remember who I put her around, but it was below average. I know I put her around where Lily is, and people said, like, how can you put Alisa below average? And then you see people like Fergus putting her at top tier and saying, like, down 3 is obscene, even if it's seeable. It's like, yeah, it's obscene when it does 17 damage, you know? You see people not blocking. Like, I think what it comes down to is these people that say Alisa is high tier don't know the matchup. Because, again, with my experience when playing Eliza, more people know how to play against Eliza than Alisa. I think that's enough proof to show that people just don't know Alisa at all, and then make assumptions about her and say, like, she's really cheap, she's top tier, she's really good, without actually looking at her moves, without labbing, like, okay, reacting to down 3, because down 3 is very reactable. It's 23 frames up close and 32 frames from a distance, and it's launch punchable. Most people don't know it's launch punchable because they look at the frame data and they see, oh, it's minus 13 or 14, whatever it says in the frame data. But people don't know that she's forced into this stance. So it becomes launch punchable because of that. But people just don't know that. So a lot of times, even in high levels, people would block down 3, and then they'll do like a Wild Rising 1 or something, like a 13 frame Wild Rising punish, and not launch it, right? And then people say that Alisa is ridiculous when they're not punishing her right, they're not ducking the high in this string, they're not doing like a 10 frame punish there when people aren't hit confirming stuff, you know, stuff like that. They're not punishing this at minus 10, and then they say she's top tier when they just don't know the matchup. So here you go. The proof is in the pudding, the proof is in the buffs, right? She got a ton of buffs because at higher levels of play, when people actually know the matchup, and when you're not a scrub Yakuza King player who's never labbed a character in his life and just does Death Crate all the time, she's not good. She's really not good. You know, it's another thing is that, like, you know, another example of this, and this is the last one I'll do, is like people say that when people know how Alisa works and play Alisa, say she's a poke-based character, and then people are like, are you fucking high? She's not a poke-based character. She has plus frames everywhere, and she doesn't. And the moves that are plus, like this, are so fucking seeable, my grandma can sidestep them. But people just don't know the matchup. So they're saying, you're like, how is Alisa a poke-based character? Are you fucking crazy? Let's be real here. She's a fucking oppressive bitch. She's OP as fuck. And it's like, no, she's not. And if you took 5 seconds to look at her, you would know that. So yeah, the proof is in the pudding. I went on a bit of a tangent there, but I feel gratified knowing I was right. Knowing that one of the few Alisa players who doesn't resort to her gimmicks was right. And she got buffs, and the proof is in the buffs, right? So there you go. Because if she was high tier, with these buffs, she's going to be the best character in the game. So Alisa's high tier for Season 2, I dare to say it, don't ban me. Buffing someone does not mean she needs them, to be fair. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is that myself and other Alisa players and other people who know the matchup say that she's like average, below average, around there, right? And then people who don't know the matchup and just like to make assumptions about her and like to just be like, I'm gonna stick her on a tier list because I know everything about her without going into practice mode, put her in high tier, right? And now, because she got such significant buffs in Season 3, you know, it's just something that we can reference and say, like, look, you want to say that she was really good in Season 2, well, look at the Season 3 buffs and tell me if she's the best character in the game. Because if she's not, then she clearly couldn't have been one of the best characters in the game in Season 2, right? And people were saying the same thing back in Season 1. Oh yeah, Alisa's like above average, higher tier. She's really, really good. Got the most significant buffs in Season 2. People put her at the same exact spot on the tier lists, because they just don't know the matchup. And they will probably put it in the same spot again in Season 3, but this time they'll actually be right. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just kind of like repeating history, I guess. But that's just what I'm trying to get at. Like, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%, but what I'm trying to say is that she got the most significant buffs, and she's not going to move up in the tier list at all, because people just don't know how she plays. Anyway, yeah, Alisa's going to be really good in Season 3. Really good. I have, in Season 2, when the patch notes came out for that, I said that she's going to be a lot better, but she's not going to be top tier for sure. Now, it's kind of up in the air, right? I think she has the potential to be top 15 with this. Why do you even care about the tier list? Stop crying. Where's Wong in the tiers? Back in Tekken. Anyway, let's go to Law now. Because I know you've been waiting for Law, so I'll go over Law changes, and then I'll go over some other characters. Because that took a lot. I was expecting that to take about half an hour. It took a lot longer than that. So, yeah, let's go to Law. I don't play Law. In case there's anyone here who doesn't regularly watch, I don't play Law, so I don't really know what he does, but I'm going to look at the changes anyway. And he is one of the best characters in the game right now, so. That's because I'm in here. I talk a lot. Yeah, it's true. That's the reason why I'm looking at Law right now. Alright. I need a drink. Oh my god. My throat's killing me. When you do long recordings like this where you just have to talk and talk and talk, I'm used to it, but my throat isn't used to it. It's never gotten used to it. I think what I'll do, because that took so long, is I'll do Law now, and then I'll do in alphabetical order. I'll do Eliza, Julia, and Yoshimitsu. And then I'll just kind of go non-alphabetical order, but just based on what I want to look at, I guess, at the time. Alright, time to get patched. Oh yeah, something else I wanted to see real quick. Sorry I'm doing this, but I actually wanted to see what the date was on this. What is it saying here? The 10th. It's saying the 10th. So this is going to be on the 9th. In, outside of Japan. It might be the 10th, depending on where you are in the EU, but in NA, this is going to be on the 9th. So, that's going to be on Monday. Well, at least it's not Tuesday, because Tuesday I'm not here all day. I'm at school all day, so hopefully I'll be able to play when the patch drops. Not tomorrow, Monday. Hopefully. But, yeah, everyone's been saying that's going to be on the 10th, but because Japan, it's actually going to be on Monday. I get my grades on the 9th. Fuck my life. Well, hopefully they don't depress you so much you don't want to play the game anymore. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, I'll definitely be out on Tuesday. Normally, I'm not going to stream on Tuesdays, so I'm just at school all day. But I'm going to try to make an effort to play a bit for the few hours I have on Tuesday. But on Monday, I have a window. So hopefully the patch drops while I'm home on Monday. Hopefully. Or else I won't really be able to play Season 2 for 2 days, and that's going to suck. Anyway, Law. Sorry. That was a bit of a tangent. Okay. During Rage 1+2, reduced the strength of the pushback and made the move easier to land. So what's the pushback right now? It doesn't even have pushback. What a weird change. Okay, Rage, down back, 4, 3 plus 4. Increase the lower range of the attack. Okay. I'm assuming that, like, AOP was able to fuck with it or something. Or, well, I guess not AOP, but, like, if you're in AOP and you do the alley-oop and stuff like that, it's hard to low crush. Yeah, I know it's the Dragon Tail and the Legend Kick. Yeah, I don't know why I said AOP. I'll be honest. I just assumed that AOP can crush lows. It is AOP. I don't know. But I guess it's something to keep in mind if I ever see it and I want to hot kick it or something, I guess. Wait, no, because it's saying lower range, not higher range. So what the fuck does it mean by low? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize it, but I can't think of why this would be changed. Maybe it was just a hitbox issue. Maybe it was just a bug. Yeah, it's the range of the Dragon Tail, but it's the lower range. So it's like how... I don't even know how you do it. It's how close it is to the ground. How do you do this shit? Down back 4? Yeah, that. So it's just... It's close. So it's like... Right now, the hitbox isn't touching the ground, but after the patch, it will. Okay. Yeah, just useless. Yeah, I'm trying to rationalize why, but I'm assuming it's just a minor hitbox issue that they're fixing. Probably something to do with sidestepping, I'd guess. I don't know. Change crushes because it doesn't crush mids. Maybe, but it's saying increase the low. If they did that, then they would be saying decrease the upper hitbox or something like that. Made it lower to the ground. Not increase the low range of the attack. That tells me that they've expanded the hitbox downward. So, maybe you're right, but I don't know. It's... Who knows? 4 up 3, Heratinus. So there's that. And that can now transition into Dragon Charge 2. With 4 up, 3 back forward. Okay. Reduced the strength of the pushback and made the move easier to land. Okay. So this... Oops, I have it on God All. So... I mean... Yeah, I guess it's for combos, but... I don't know. I'm trying to think of how this can be significant outside of combos. I guess it's just a combo thing, right? That's all it is. It's just a combo, a way to combo that requires some execution. Does he have any bound moves off of that stance? He has 3. Yeah, into 3. Yeah, that. But it's a high. So... I forgot that you have to launch them in order to do this, but... Why not just do that, then? Maybe it does slightly more damage? I don't know. That's weird. You can do the 3? And then back 2, 1. Weird. I wonder how that's even going to be useful then. I mean, obviously it's just changing the combos a bit, but I don't know. I'm not a law expert, so I really don't know, but yeah, that seems really minor, honestly. If this was plus on block, then that would be one thing, but it seems really minor. Because if they go into the stance, then you just punch them. Unless this has a punch parry, I don't know. I think this does, wait, no, this does have a punch parry, right? With the one. The one's a punch parry, right? So you can do that. And then if maybe this isn't a punch parry. I thought it was. I swear he has a punch parry out of this stance. Well, if he does, then I can see the use for it, but otherwise I don't know. So usually do back two, one, or back two, back two, one. Yeah, but like then what's going to be the point? Is it going to be something that requires a little bit of execution for slightly more damage? A slightly harder combo, maybe? I don't know. See, this is the problem. I'm not a law player, so I don't know. But just on the surface, it doesn't look like it's that amazing. What is... Hold on. Does it list in here if something has a punch parry or not? Because I know Law has one. It doesn't. Okay, I know he has something, but I don't know what move it is off of. But if it's off that stance, then, again, I can see use foot, but otherwise, it's just... I don't see the point. Someone was watching porn before. Yeah, that's why I have fucking 42 incognito windows open. Yeah. Yeah, I have 42 windows of it open. 3 plus 4, 4. Okay, it's that move. I just don't like websites that I go to showing up in the address bar. Like I start typing something in and it's like, "Oh, you want to go to this address with this extension." It's like, "No, I just want to go to YouTube." "Oh, you want to go to this specific YouTube video?" "No, I just want to go to YouTube." Right? I just want to be able to press Y and press enter. That's it. So it's like I use the normal browser for stuff I want to sign into and just to like go to YouTube and Google and stuff like that, so I can just be like, I want to go to YouTube, press Y, and then YouTube's there, and I can just press enter. But I really only use Chrome in incognito mode. I'm weird. Anyway, change the damage from 5-12-17 to 5-10-15. So it reduced by 4 damage. Yeah, it's a damage nerf, but it's 4 damage. It's It's what it does mean, though, is that really hard combo that you were teaching me last time I used Law and I was trying is pretty much useless now. Like, this was already pretty useless, but yeah, it's just trash. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage before, and because assuming that you'd use this in a combo, it's already going to be scaled pretty hard. Really, it only becomes like 2 damage if you use it in a combo, and at the same time, this already launches in screws, so it's like, this goes from 28 damage with a screw to 24. You know, it's... Considering this is just a launcher from neutral, like that, and it's safe, right? It's not that bad of a change. I should leave this up. So, what is it right now? 3 plus 4, 4. Oh, it's minus 11. Minus 12 if you do it at mid-range. And it's a high. And you can't hit confirmed either. So I guess that is a much bigger nerf than I thought. Because I thought this was safe. But with it being minus 11 and a high, does it jail? It doesn't. Yeah, okay, maybe that's more significant than I thought. Yeah, that's, yeah. Although, on one hand, I think that's kind of... Okay, so here's the problem, right? The problem is that, on one hand, this nerf makes sense, because this is the best whiff punish in the game. It has a ton of range, it's quick, it leads to a screw, it does a ton of damage, it's the best whiff punish in the game. It's not even one of, it's the best whiff punish in the game, bar none. But, then the problem is this can only be used as a whiff punish. I don't know how law players do it now, but I've seen law players just throw this out in the neutral to try to get it to work. But with it doing 4 less damage, I don't know. Because it already seems like borderline, like you probably don't want to do this in the neutral, but maybe sometimes against really aggressive opponents you can. But with it having 4 less damage, maybe now it's just, there's a non-move that outclasses it in that regard. And this can only be used as a whiff punch, which I think is fine. Don't get me wrong, I think it's fine for this move to only be a whiff punish, because it's a great whiff punish. And I think it being nerfed for that reason makes a lot of sense. I think that the best whiff punish in the game should be nerfed. But at the same time, I think what would have made more sense is the damage on it gets reduced, but it becomes minus 9. So that way, if they're throwing out in the neutral here, or they block it, if they're astute, they can duck the high and launch. But if they're not, then it's minus 9 if you throw it out. And that would kind of justify the damage decrease in neutral. But again, it's still like fucking ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm not a law player. I think the change makes sense, but I don't know. I believe whatever any law player says about whatever their opinion is on it, except it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. Law being nerfed hurts. Everyone using him just because he's high tier. Well, for everyone using him just because it's high tier, it does. 4, 2, 1, change the thing. Okay. Okay, great. So it can probably hit AOP now. Okay. Down 4, 3, 3 fixed an issue in which the first hit's range would be reduced when the second hit was input. Weird, but okay. Down 4, 3 plus 4 increase the distance between the character and the opponent when the move is blocked. Let's see how far back they get pushed back right now. Oh my god, it's this. It's this move. Okay. So it just means everyone can punish it now. Okay, I guess. Sure. Yeah, that move's useless, so great. Down 1, 4. He got some buffs to standing recover, but while rising move, yeah. Yeah, we'll see what his buffs are, though. I mean, this is already technically a buff, right? So, down 1, 4. First hit, change the frame advantage when blocked from minus 13 to minus 12. The notation for this must be wrong, right? It's down 2, 4, I think. What? This, right? Yeah, it's this. This being minus 12 is really interesting. So, fun fact. Yeah, you were telling me about this move before, Gio, and I actually forgot this move exists somehow. But this move, back in Tekken 5, Tekken 6, Tag 2, used to be the bane of everyone's existence. This move was fucking aggravating as hell, and it used to be minus 16, if you can believe it or not. This move used to be minus 16, and now it's minus 12. Wow. Full combo on hit. Yeah, or on counter hit. Yeah. Used to be minus 16, is now minus 12. God damn. Frame advantage on hit from +1 to +2. Okay, combos or whatever. Change the move to send the opponent spinning when it lands as a counter hit. I'm assuming that's for the second one. Okay, so the second hit, if it's like if you do down 1 and then they swing and then you do the 3 and that connects, it no longer leads to a full combo. It leads to a tailspin. So that's actually a nerf. Yeah, it's minus 12 now, but it's still a kind of a nerf. It's weird. Because it's a pretty big buff, this only being minus 12 now. But at the same time, it's kind of a nerf. But who the hell's going to swing into this? No one, right? The next move is down 2-3. What the fuck? Okay. Reduce the attack side and... Okay, well then never mind. Yeah, I'm reading them in sequential order. I'm not reading ahead. No, down one is... Oh my... Wait. The timing on it's weird. I think I was doing it too fast. No, I wasn't. Oh, no, I was saying down 1-4. It's down 1-3. Oh. So this move is useless. Okay, great. It's minus 12. It's still a high. It's still duckable and it's still seeable. Great. It's +2 on hit and it spins on counter hit. Woo. Okay, yeah. So this is useless. And the reason why it's useless. Wait, that's natural? That's not natural. Wait, no, that's not natural, is it? Wait a second. Wait, that's a natural? No, it's not. I'm holding back, though. Wait. I never see... I only see people do the down 1. In my entire life, I've never seen anyone do this full string. Not in Tekken 5, not in Tekken 6, Tag 2, Tekken 7. I've never seen this full thing. What? No, this is... Wait, what? I'm holding back, though. No, what? Wait a second. I gotta get to the bottom of this. Okay. Here's me holding back. Hold on. That was a jump. I'm trying here. Hello? I am... Fine. You pad scrub. You think a stick will help? Hold on just a goddamn second. I got my fucking stick, alright? I got my fucking stick. Hold on just a goddamn second. You wanna call me a fucking pad scrub? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You think a stick's gonna help? Hold on just a goddamn second. Hold on just a burger flipping second right here. Look at this. This doesn't do like a double overstun or something, does it? What? What? What the fuck? I don't get it. I'm so confused. I'm using a stick too, by the way. I'm using a stick. Just in case you thought the pad was the problem. I don't flip burgers because I'm not Bob or American. How the hell do you reset on this thing? There we go. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Either way, that's not natural. I have no idea how to block it. I have no idea. I don't know why it's not blocking. That's something I'm gonna have to research, because that is... I don't know why that's happening. I also lost audio. I cannot hear anything. Why can't I hear anything? What the hell? There we go. I can hear you. Yeah, that's something I'll have to look at. Alright, so then let's do it like this. Let's do stand and then crouch. So I'm pretty sure that you can actually duck this. Yeah, you can duck that on hit. That's what I was trying to get at. I don't know why I can't, but you can duck this on hit. That's what I was trying to get at. So all of these changes to this move are completely irrelevant. Because he doesn't have a mix-up out of this either. It's just down 1-3. That's it. So, you suck. Alright, Shao Kahn, calm down. Yeah, see, he doesn't have a mix-up out of it. It's just the low-high, and that's it. So, yeah. Useless. Muda. Dragon Charge 3. Change the damage from 18 to 30. And Fake Step 3. Okay, so how can I get into this without having to do another move? The down 1 being 1 frame less disadvantageous is good. Oh, this is all first hit. Wait. Oh my god. Why the hell would they list down 1-4 and then only have changes for the first hit? There must be a typo in here. Yeah, you'd be right. There's a typo in here somewhere. There are 2 typos. Typo for the move and typo for, oh, second hits here. I can't read, by the way. I thought this was, I was glancing at it. I thought this meant this. Okay, so this being minus 12 and plus 1 to 2. This is useless. This doesn't mean fucking anything. This is what's important. And yeah, being minus 12 on block means that Josie, Eddie, and Kazuya can't launch punish it anymore. It being plus 2 on hit is nice, but I still don't think it's that significant. It's a buff, sure. And people only use down 1, they never use down 1-3, but it's still I mean, it's borderline seeable as it is. So, I mean, it not being launch punishable, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's not. That's pretty good. But I think overall, it's just kind of a change. It took a really long time to get there, though. It really took a really long time to say that. But yeah, it's just alright. This move. 2 damage increase. Okay. 4-4-3. Change the clean hit detection. So now this is only going to do 30 damage. That's what it means. It doesn't say it, but this clean hit is making this move do 15 more damage. So it removing the clean hit detection means that this will only do 30 damage now and not 45. Which, I mean, it's a wall splat. I think this wall bounds, if I remember correctly, and it's armored. So, I think it makes sense for this to do 30 damage and not 45 on clean hit. Especially with how far away you can be for it to clean hit. So, I think it does wall bound. Yeah, okay. Then I think removing the clean hit from that makes sense. Down back 4. Increase the recovery time after the move hits by 1 frame. It's fucking Dragon Tail. Dragon Tails, Dragon Tails. Hold on. Having too much fun with this. What a completely useless fucking change. What a completely useless fucking change. I had to do something for it because it was so useless and insignificant. I had to do something. So Dragon Tails. It's like, okay, increase the recovery time after the move by 1 frame. Woohoo. It actually is a buff, though. This actually is a buff. But it's so insignificant. Who gives a fuck? Increase the range of the attack of back 1. Okay. Back 2-1. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -1 to -3. Okay, it's a high. Back 2-3, down 4. Change the damage from 21 to 23. Did I read that wrong? Back 2-3. Okay, it's Junkyard. You should be low parrying it. It's useless. Oh, yeah, I did read that wrong. I read it as increase the recovery time of your opponent after the move hits by 1 frame. That's not what it says, but that's how I interpreted it. You're right. But who really gives a fuck, right? It's fucking Dragon Tail. Forward 2-3. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -17 to -15. Okay. This is hit confirmable though, so who cares? Right? I mean, it's still launch punishable too. I don't understand. And the second hit's high. Both hits are high. Both options he has out of this are high. Does he have a mid? No, 4-4, 2-3, and 2-1. They're both high, so you duck after the first hit. I mean, that's still launch punishable, but still. It means they recover one frame more. Both fucking it up. Okay, yeah, great. It's -15 now. Okay, still launch punishable. Shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 2 frames. Okay, the second hit can now be ducked under if the first hit is blocked. Oh, that... Really? You couldn't duck under it before? So, it's pretty much exactly the same then. Oop. Oh, you couldn't. Okay, well, it's exactly the same then. It's fucking useless. So they changed it from being launch punishable if you block it to launch punishable as long as you press down, and he should be pressing down anyway because he doesn't have any mids. Okay, useless. Muda. 4-4. Okay. Does 2 more damage. What's the behavior when the opponent gets hit now? Oh, that'll probably knock them down then. I'm guessing. But it still only does 10 damage. Well, maybe not, because it only does 10 damage. And they're not changing how much damage it does. I don't know. What is it right now in terms of frames? This is forward 4, right? Yes. Minus 12. Okay, well, that's... Oh, it has an extension. Oh, it's that. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. Well, that seems kind of useless then. And forward 3 has been replaced with a new move. That's fucking weird. Normally, they would only do this if there was a brand new Tekken. They would only replace moves with our moves if there was a new Tekken. For example, Alisa's down 3 used to be, or sorry, her down 3 used to be, she stood up, and then she went to the side of you like this, and then she just started like hopping on your toes. That's what she used to do. I can't really, yeah, let me try going back here. So she used to be like this, and then she would be like that. That used to be her down 3, and then in Tekken 7 they replaced it with what we all now know it as the infamous down 3. But I don't think they've ever done that before, where they've replaced a move with another move in the same version of the game. I was out of frame. Motherfucker. Okay, hold on a second. Let me move this so I can see myself. Okay. Where the fuck? Oh, I'm over there. Okay. I'm dying. Okay, so... God, there's some shit here. Okay, so previously... I don't even know if I can do this with a set. But previously... When she did down 3, she was like this. And then she was like... that. I think I was kind of in frame there. I don't have room over there. There's a bunch of junk over there. But, yeah. And now she has the down 3. So... Anyway, that's enough visualization. It's so cool to see you down. I mean, I'm an Elisa player. If you're an Elisa player and not a dancer, you're not really an Elisa player. So I'm not really an Elisa player. Yeah, that's weird. That's just strange. Wall Rising 1, increase the lower range of the attack. Back towards enemy 2, decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Okay. I'm guessing Wall Rising 1 is just so it can hit AOP. Yeah, probably. They did that a lot with, in Season 2, so I guess they're just doing it more now. I hope it's a real good move. It better be, because either replacing this move is either going to be one of Law's most significant nerfs, or it's just not really going to do anything. Who knows? Harada does. And then approach enemy forward 4-3 plus 4 fixed an issue, which following up with certain moves would cause the opponent to become turned around. Okay, so Law, it seems, is mostly the same then. No real big nerfs. He's got some damage adjustments. He can now do this, but there are no real big nerfs or buffs, right? Like, it's just adjustments. And that's what we saw from Akuma, too. So, yeah, except for forward 4-3, but we don't know. That's the problem. Is we just don't know what that's going to be. I'm sure if we look at the Season 3 videos, we can see what it is. But, yeah, either that's going to be a big nerf for Law, or it's going to be irrelevant. But I think, even if they got rid of this move entirely, if Law no longer had this move, he would still be top tier. Like, this is a really good move. It's a really nice move, but it's not essential for him. Yeah. So, and because Akuma was the same way, I'm almost thinking what they're doing is what I thought when I was talking about Alisa, is they're just taking the Soul Calibur out and making everyone really, really good. Like, going back to, like, Tekken 5 or something, and just everyone's fucking insane. That's what it seems like. And historically for Tekken, that's never been good. So we'll see what that does, I guess. But it seems like that's the idea right now, is just make everyone really, really good. So I guess we'll see what everyone else is like then, huh? I don't know. This is going to be one of those things where it's like, looking at just Akuma, Law, and Alisa, I don't know. It's gonna be... This is becoming one of those things where we would have to see. We would have to see in 6 months where everything's at. Because I don't think there's any real way right now to be able to definitively say if this is gonna work or not. Law's the only one who got a move replaced? Man, that's weird. That's so strange. Huh. Let's look at Yoshimitsu. You know what? Looking at Yoshimitsu might... Wow, who had, like, no changes? Who was that? Lily. Lily has nothing. God damn. Poor Lily players. Let's go to Yoshimitsu. But yeah, there's just not much to say about Law, is there? It's just... He's still going to be Law. Everyone's going to kind of move around him and Akuma, right? But it's like with Akuma, at least you could say, you know, he's really high execution, so maybe they want to keep him around where he's at because of how hard he is to play. But with Law, yeah, he's kind of difficult to play, but at the same time, you don't have to play him in a very difficult way, and he's still really, really... He's still one of the best characters in the game. So... I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how everything plays out, I guess. Asuka, Law, and Paul have replaced moves? I want to see what Asuka's is, because I actually play Asuka. Back in Season 1 I did, and then Season 2 I didn't because I don't like playing really high-tier characters. So... I haven't really played Asuka at all in Season 2. But if she gets nerfed in Season 3, I will. Down back 1-2 replaced with a new move. Okay, down back 1-2 really isn't... Wait, no, she doesn't have 1-2, because down back 1 is her, like, this thing. When counter hit it, makes them roll. Hold on a sec. I'll look at Yoshimitsu, but I want to see this real quick. I'll look at Yoshimitsu before Asuka, but I just want to see this real quick. Yeah, that's what it'll say. I think that's a typo. I'm going to guess it is. Oh, I might be thinking of down back 2, but I think I'm thinking of the right move. Oh, it's this. No, oh, I'm thinking of back 1. Okay, yeah, this move is useless, so it makes sense that this would be placed. Yeah, you never use the full thing, because she doesn't have a mix-up out of this. So you use the down back 1 for pokes. This is a pretty decent poking tool, but the full thing is not useful. Sometimes you can use it to counter hit, and then do that hard knockdown. I think you get something for free. I can't remember. You might not even get something for free. I can't remember. But either way, this move is useless. So... that being replaced, it can only be a buff, I think. Paul, core circle back 3-2-3, replaced with a new move. I actually have my handy-dandy notebook so I can see what that move was. I don't remember, and I don't think I'm really going to go over Paul, because I don't really know Paul, to be honest. I never played this Paul. Core circle back. Okay, so how this worked before is... okay, so I have written down for core circle back 3-2-1, which is a low, mid, high, which was -10, and you can duck the high. It's not natural. And the second hit is -10. Both the second and third hit are -10. But either way, you ducked the last hit, and then you launched him. So, 3, 2, 3 getting replaced. That, I think, was a low, mid, low? I can't remember. But it's not a move that was really used at all. I don't think. If I'm remembering it right. I don't have it written down in here, though. But I do have 3, 2, 1. I can't remember what it mixed up with, though. It might be a mid. It probably is a mid, but I don't know what it... The replacement must be kind of minor. Why is Law's good move getting replaced? I don't know. Maybe he's getting a better one. Maybe he's getting one of Wong's moves. Maybe they'll bring back Force and give him that move. Maybe. Maybe. You can hope. Alright, Yoshimitsu. During Rage, time with enemy attack up back 1+4. This was his Rage Flash. Reduced the strength of the pushback and made the move easy to land. Increased the range of the attack. Good. There were a lot of inconsistencies with that. That's good. Kinsho back to 1. New move. Oh, I was going to say he doesn't have anything like that. So right now, back 2 leads to that. So back to 1? I don't know what it could be, but I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. It's Yoshimitsu. I don't know what it could possibly be. Sorry, I screwed up a bit too much. Forward 4, increase the move's tracking. Okay. Okay. Down forward 1-4. Ooh. Okay. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Okay. That's... Okay. Second hit. Change the frame advantage from -14 to -12. Holla fucking Luya. Oh my god. It's been... That's been needed for so fucking long. Holy shit. Wow. -12 now. Thank fucking god. Increase the recovery time when the move misses by 2 frames. Who gives a shit? This is only -12 now. Thank fuck. Thank god. Down forward 1+2. 12 damage now. Increase the move's reach. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's nice, but I would just like a new low poke with Yoshi. I was hoping for a new move, Yoshi would get a new low poke, because his lows are trash. That's why he's so bad, is because he just doesn't have lows. So even though this is a pretty good string, not to use all the time, but to use sparingly, this is a pretty good string and sit confirmable. You know, just... What did they do? They gave it 2 more damage. Okay, great. And they increased the move's reach, which is kind of... I mean, if it can reach from here... then I would say, okay, yeah, that would be really nice. But, I mean, it already has decent enough reach. I just wish they would give us a new low. Down 2-2-1. Reduce the strength of the pushback. So that's going to mean that this is easier to use in combos now, which is great. Down back 3. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. That's good. Sometimes you would get interactions with some characters, mostly female characters, where this first hit would hit, and then if they were slightly off axis, then the second hit would whiff, and then the third hit could be low parried, or something like that. So I'm assuming it's very rare, but it does happen, and I'm assuming they changed that so that doesn't happen anymore, which is nice. Mighty Dragonfly 4, change the opponent's behavior when move lands as a counter hit. Okay. So I'm assuming it doesn't screw anymore. I don't know. I wonder what that does then. Maybe it makes them airborne on counter hit? Maybe? I don't think so. I don't know what they could have done. If it's just straight up, like, on counter hit, this doesn't screw anymore, it's not that big of a nerf, because usually when you go in the Dragonfly in the neutral like this, it's to do a set with this, usually. But there are instances where you do want to go into Dragonfly and use 4, because it is a really good safe mid that does good damage, gives you great frame advantage on hit, and screws on counter hit. It's a good move. But behavior changing when move lands as a counter hit can mean a lot of things. I'm hoping that it still screws and it just changes the distance, but then it would say that changes the distance, so I don't know. It's hard to say. I find it really hard to believe that they just would make it so that it doesn't screw anymore. Because that would be not a huge nerf to Yoshi, but it would still be a pretty decent nerf. So I don't know. I don't know what that could mean. Up 3 plus 4. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the second hit lands. Okay. Again, this is just a quality of life thing for Yoshimitsu. Against some characters, when this move lands at a certain range, it can cause the follow-up to just whiff. Sometimes. Again, very rare, but it's nice that it's fixed. There's a nice little quality of life thing. Up forward 2. Change the damage from 20 to 25, increase the move's tracking. Okay. Up forward 4. Increase the lower range of the attack. So avoiding the puddle can now hit AOP. Cool. Forward 3. Speed up the timing at which the opponent is counted as being in mid-air after counter hit by 4 frames. I think what that means is... So something you can do is, again, a very rare situation, but if your opponent is, say, jumping... This is some 2D shit right here. But if your opponent is jumping, then you can hit them with this. And then sometimes, depending on if they're jumping towards you, if they're jumping away, or what have you, sometimes you can get this follow-up, but not all the time. Like there I got it, but the first time I did it, I didn't get the follow-up. So I'm assuming this makes it so that that's consistent now. Something like that. I'm doing it the opposite time. Yeah. Yeah, that might be able to make it so that the 4 hits too, but I don't think so. I think it's just, again, to make things more consistent. Or maybe it's just in the neutral. Maybe that's not what they're talking about. Maybe what they mean is, like... But they're never considered airborne during this, though. They're never considered airborne. But it says counter hit. So is that a nerf? I'm so confused. Claudio plus 6 minus 12 low tracks both ways and has a mid mix up from it. Well, Claudio doesn't have any real lows outside of his like, oh shit, stance. So I don't see a problem with that. But I don't know what the move looks like. I mean, I know one thing, Shadows is going to start saying how Claudio is basically Tekken 7's Jin from Tekken 4. But down back 4-3 got buffed to 0 on hit and leaves him at hot kick range. I don't know Claudio at all, so I don't know what his down back 4-3 is. I have absolutely no idea anything really about Claudio except just stand here and block, and eventually he'll do something that's punishable. A 15 frame low. Well, at least he has a low. You know, his cardio just, again, his problem is he just doesn't have lows. So I think it makes sense to give him a low. I think that's, if he was going to get a buff, that's the thing that makes the most sense to buff. But I don't know, I have to see it still. But okay, so let me try this with this. So I guess that means it's going to do that, so it's actually a nerf? Man. So I think that's what it means. So when you counter hit with this, and you go into kin stance 1+2, that's all not guaranteed anymore. Or maybe it means you have to commit, but right now, that's the combo if you get counter hit off of this. And it's one of the few really, really good things Yoshimitsu has. And yeah, that seems like they're just going to make it so that you can't do that anymore. Kind of like how they did in Season 2 when they changed the counter hit on this. Not that. This, so that doesn't combo with Flash. Although, I can see the argument for this, because this happened on normal hit. It still happens if you side turn like that, but before it was just like, if you were straight with them, that would, do that. And lead to a combo on normal hit. So I can kind of understand that, but, man, they just keep nerfing Yoshi. But let's look at the rest. Oh, he doesn't have much. While rising forward, decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Okay, while crouching down forward, decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move lands as a counter hit. Okay, so that doesn't seem like it's going to be too significant. Yeah, it's going to be significant when you're doing it at like a farther range like this, because there are distances where you just can't really do anything. But yeah, I don't even remember what the combo off it is. Shows how much of a Yoshi player I am, right? I thought you had to crouch cancel it. I haven't been playing Yoshi much recently. Yeah, like that. But, you know, I guess it's, again, a nice little quality of life thing, but really? It's just like, oh yeah, Yoshi, this is now consistent again. We've made like 4 things consistent and giving him a pretty big nerf. Okay, bye. That's kind of how, and that's how Season 2 was as well for Yoshi. No sword stance down forward 1+2/2. Yeah, so it's just this. So it's probably the same exact thing, right? Second hit, change from -16 to -13. They better fix Law. Well, I can tell you this, they're not fucking fixing Yoshi. Yoshi is looking like, based on the other characters I've seen, and based on Yoshi's changes, Yoshi may be the worst character in the game in Season 3. Get this with Yoshi, they nerfed him. Can you fucking believe it? They have nerfed Yoshimitsu. Law needs a launcher that's 1 frame that does full HP damage. So the second hit of this being -13 is nice, but they nerfed the gimmick. They nerfed one of the most awful characters in the game. Yeah, they nerfed one of the worst characters in the game. Fuck. How could they do this? Or, wait, no, the joke is, yeah, he deserved that. And then bug fix. And fix an issue in which the throw cannot be escaped with 2. And that, okay, so here's what they did. This is the exact same thing that they did with Season 2 of Yoshi. They said, okay, we're going to fix a lot of, like, hitbox things that are just going to make some things more consistent. Like, yay, if you counter hit with, while crouching down forward 2, you can now get a combo off it at close range and kind of long range. That's kind of how it was supposed to be before, but none of us play Yoshimitsu. So, yeah, there you go. By the way, we've also completely nerfed this so that this no longer actually leads to a combo anymore. And get fucked, Yoshi players. Bye! We don't care that you're one of the worst characters in the game. Bye! Fuck you, Manji Clan. Yeah, that's what they did in Season 2 as well. Because again, they did the same thing where it's like, they did all of these, like, minor little adjustments, you know, made the hitboxes a little bit more consistent. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we made this not possible anymore. So have fun with the nerf, Yoshi players. Bye! So, yeah. It's like, you have Akuma, who's already really good, stays about the same. You have Law, top 10. Everyone says he's top 10. Doesn't really get any significant changes except the move change, and we still don't know how that's going to be. We have Alisa, who most people in beginner to intermediate levels, and even some high levels, say is really good. Everyone else says that she's below average, around average, below average. She gets really significant buffs. Then you have Yoshimitsu, one of the worst characters in the game. He got a nerf. He got a nerf, and he got some changes to make his moves more consistent. They did the Manji Clan dirty. They really did. Like, fuck me. That is one of the most disappointing. I went from being like, yeah, Alisa is fucking great, these changes are fucking awesome, to Yoshimitsu, and it's just like... What? This doesn't... This doesn't combo any? Yeah, they did. They did him like Gigas in Season 2. Exactly. They did him like Gigas in Season 2. That's exactly it. It's like some characters they want to be good and some characters they don't want to be good, and it makes sense, right? Guys, I don't think any Yoshimitsu player wants Yoshimitsu to be good, but at the same time, no one wants Tekken 6 Yoshimitsu again, right? We all want him to be like below average, right? We all want him to be around there, because if Yoshimitsu was really good, then you have Soul Calibur 6 Yoshimitsu, who's just, yeah, he's Yoshimitsu and he's fun to play, but he's so good and all of his gimmicks is so good that they're not gimmicks anymore, that he's just boring, right? He has all of these tools, he has all of these fun, weird things he can do. He's really fun to play, but because he's so good, he no longer has these creative things you can do with him, these creative setups, and all of, you know, Yoshi shenanigans. And because of that, he becomes boring to play. So no one wants Yoshi to be top tier. Again, just look at Soul Calibur 6 Yoshi. But at the same time, we don't want him to keep getting nerfed into the ground every fucking season. Calm down, there's still Asuka. Yeah, there's still Asuka. And there's still this Kincho back to 1, which might be really good. But I don't think it, because Kincho, that's Kincho back to 1+2 right now. So what could back to 1 be? Because it's off this. So maybe it's like, what I'm guessing is that this is a launcher and that the second hit is like this. And it screws them. That's going to be my guess. It's a high, so you can duck it, but it screws. That's going to be my guess. And if that's the case, then I guess it kind of makes up for this now doing this. But, I mean, yeah, it's probably a combo maybe since they removed the combo. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but they did the same thing to Yoshi in Season 2. They removed the combo he had off of this. This used to be a combo out of Flash. That's not even an actual combo anymore, by the way. And they didn't give him anything in return. So I'm kind of afraid that they're going to do the same thing again. Although, granted, I think both of these things were kind of unintended, but they kept them. But it's like, then just keep them. It's not like he's insane because he has a counter hit launcher with this that does half your HP, right? Really, really good, but Yoshimitsu is still really, really bad. It's like Flash, right? Like, yeah, Flash is really OP if you give it to any other character. A 6-frame launcher, but Yoshimitsu's trash. So who cares about Yoshi anyway? Everyone, really. I mean, Yoshi's one of those characters that not a lot of people play, but everyone knows and everyone likes. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Yoshimitsu. And if there are people like that, then they're bitches. And everyone would agree. I mean, even people outside of Tekken and Soul Calibur know who Yoshimitsu is. Everyone knows him. Harada doesn't, and Harada is God. Fuck, you got me there. Well, that's Yoshimitsu. Let's go to Eliza. Because Eliza, in my opinion, worst character in the game. I think a lot of people who have played Eliza would say the same thing. Eliza is worse than Gigas. I think it's a very controversial opinion, for sure. I think there are a lot of people that don't know Eliza, and that's why they say Eliza. Because I see people that have put Eliza as average. She's not. Everyone would agree that she's not. If you've looked at her for 2 fucking seconds, instead of just eating down 1 into dive kick 50 times, because you don't know, oh, I can sidestep this. Oh, a special mid is low parryable. Oh, I can just jab her out of it. Then you would know that she's trash. But yeah, she's due for some buffs. Because I would say she's the worst character in the game. There are a few people who would say that she's the worst character in the game. I think most people who actually have looked at Eliza, I can't talk. Eliza for 2 seconds would say that she's at least around where Gigas is. But I like how he looks in Tekken 4. So I like how he looks in Tekken 4, so I don't like him in Tekken 7. She got meh. Well, you heard she got meh, but on one hand, all Eliza players are bitches. All Eliza players will leave after 1 game if you win. They all win quit. Every single one of them, except for me. Because I am a pillar of the FGC. But all Eliza players are bitches, right? They win quit after 1 game. So if she's not like the best character in the game, they're gonna complain. And the other thing is that people who don't know Eliza who are looking at this might look at it and not really know the significance of what she's getting. So only law mains know enough about Tekken to say how good someone is. I know someone who doesn't win quit, so watch your words. Nah, Eliza plays are bitches. Alright, so Eliza. Okay, so this is a lot. So Fireball into her EX Moonglide. EX Fireball into EX Moonglide. Forward 2 into Core Circle forward 1. Forward 3+4, which is not a move she has. I'm assuming that I guess it's just 3+4, or it could be her armor move. I'm guessing based on that says it's now possible to shift the crouching stance with holding D. I'm assuming it's the Snake Edge, but you can already do that. So I don't know what that move is supposed to be. And then again off the core circle, the EX core circle, and forward 4 Moonglide, and forward 3+4 is listed. Man, you see how little even Harada gives a fuck about Eliza? Not only is this a typo, this isn't a move that she has, unless this is a new move. Is this a new move? It is. Okay, okay. Well, they still listed it twice, so they're still morons. But Oh, I'll call princess on your ass. Do it, bitch. You won't. You're a pussy. You won't do it. Okay, so that's weird. So you can go into... That's weird. I don't see... So, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. This actually could be a big buff. So what I'm thinking then is that you could do this into, like, a weird wall combo. Or you could do, like, fireball, and then if it hits, then, like, down jab into dive kick. Or something like that. I don't know. That's really weird. Oh, or you could do fireball into a down 3 DP. This actually has a lot of... This actually could be a very significant buff. Or it could be useless. It's one of the two. It could be really, really, really great, or it could just be pointless. I can't because I'm not good friends with her to call her, but she doesn't win quit. Well... okay, then she's one of the 3 people with Eliza that doesn't, of the 5 Eliza players. So... anyway, yeah, this could be, this could be something. This could be pointless. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what combo possibilities come out of this. I think... At the wall, this is actually going to have some significance, and we'll have to see what 4-3 plus 4 actually is. I think this is actually going to have some use, but it could be either way. Again, it could be amazing, it could be a really huge buff to a mix-ups, and it could be really, really, really good, or it could just be like, it's there, I guess. Devil Heihachi announced that Heihachi and Tekken 8 confirmed. They're gonna do like the Akuma thing where they're building up to Tekken 8 and then there's a trailer for Tekken 8 and then it's just Heihachi standing in the doorway where Akuma was. And he's burned to a crisp. He's like, and then you hear the line from Tekken 5 where he says the Mishimas are invincible. Or Raven comes back and he's like, Heihachi Mishima is dead. Again. And then he's like, I lived, bitch. Core Circle 4 1+2. Fixed an issue in which Moonglide 1 could not be crouched under after the second hit is blocked. Yup, that was a bug. I wish they just kept it, but... I mean, it should be able to be ducked under. Forward, down, forward 1. Her DP 1. The launch 1. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Okay, so makes combos easier. Great. Forward, down, forward 1+2. Increase the duration of the 5th hitbox by 2 frames. Okay. So, I think what that is for then is sometimes when you had opponents that were jumping in the air, you would do the EXDP, and like that would happen. Obviously that wasn't the 5th hit there, but it was the same idea. And I guess they changed that, so now it should be more consistent. Core Circle back 2. Change the frame advantage on hit from -2 to +2 and increase the lower range of the attack. That's a really, really good change. Is it that significant? No, because most of the time you're only going to be using this in combos. Because this doesn't even, well, it does hit off that, but really, you're not really going to want to use it for that. You're going to want to do a DP off of that. But say you do like this, right? Which is an application for it, although again, you want to do a DP here because it does slightly more damage. But let's just say that, like, you get counter hit and you do this. Now you're at +2, so you still have frame advantage. So, I mean, it's not great, but it's something, I guess. It's still a buff, I guess. Core Circle back 3. Her dive kick. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -19 to -13. Wow, this is a usable move now. Wow, this is actually usable. Oh my god. Wow. They made the move usable. Woohoo! Shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 6 frames, so maybe you can use it in combos now. And change the opponent's behavior when the move lands in midair or lands as a counter hit. So, yeah, so it's definitely supposed to be able to be used in combos now. That's the entire point of it. On counter hit right now, it just does that. So maybe it'll lead to a hard knockdown that's closer and they can't tech out of it. So you get something guaranteed. Or maybe it'll bounce them up. I think that's more likely. Is that on counter hit, this will make them bounce. And the reason why that would make sense is because right now, when you're doing this dive kick pressure, you can just jab out of it. So, if you do like that, and the jab, and it counter hits, and that makes them bounce, and that leads to a combo. So it's going to make it so that you don't want to press 1 to do this. Now, you can still low parry it, and you can still sidestep it, but it might take away that option of jabbing her out of it. Maybe. And what it also means is that you can do, like... Fuck. Like that. So if they're going for a low parry on the down 1, then you can do that, and it's only minus 13, so you won't get launched for it. Because right now, when you're doing something like that, you do, you know, the normal... I'm doing it too fast. The normal, dive kick cancel like that. So, I might be going to sleep soon. I think I'm going to be done soon too because my throat's hurting. I'm going to finish up with Eliza and then I'm going to do Julia and then I'll do an overview of the rest of the characters tomorrow because I'll have all day. I'll start in the morning. Yeah, I didn't expect to go this long, so I'll be wrapping up soon too. I really just wanted to look at the characters I play first, though, and then see everyone else. So yeah, that could, depending on what this means by change the behavior when the move lands in midair or lands as a counter hit, that could be huge. It could also be kind of insignificant, but this being minus 13, that was a pretty good buff. And again, combo implications. So during jump, core circle back 3 is now minus 14. And then the same things. Okay. Core circle back 4, and during jump, 1 more damage. Okay. I'm really glad to see that they're not nerfing this, because you know this is the move that all scrubs when it comes to the Alisa matchup complain about, is this, right? This is what all people who don't know the Eliza matchup complain about. And it's really... It's good for sure. It's good pressure. But it's nothing to complain about because it's really easy to counter. But so many people complain about it, I was afraid that they were just going to nerf it. But at the same time, knowing the Alisa changes, I wasn't very confident that they were, but I still thought there was a chance. So it's nice to see that not only did it not get nerfed, but it got a very slight buff. Core circle back 1+2. So this is used primarily for when you're at the wall and you do this for a wall splat. Actually, that doesn't work, right? Yeah, it's just the low and the clean hit. But either way, that's what it's used for primarily, is that wall splat from the down 3. So, change the damage from 10 to 5 on the first hit. Okay. Second, it changed the frame advantage on guard from minus 14 to minus 13, which is really nice because the clean hit on this down 3 is inconsistent, to put it lightly. So sometimes you'll be like here, and then you'll do down 3 into this, and then it won't clean hit, and then it will get blocked, and you'll get fucked. So that's nice. That's now minus 13. And shorten the recovery animation by 1 frame when the move hits. Okay, so and that's just to make wall combos off it a bit easier. So that's nice. Core circle back 3+4. Now safe. Wow. Okay, so normally Core circle back 3 plus 4 on guard. It's minus 13, but because of the pushback, it's essentially safe. So if you see how far away they are? So this is essentially safe, even though it's minus 13, because some characters can punch it, bigger characters can, but most characters can't. So where that becomes significant is when you're at the wall. So with the EX dive kick, what you can do is you can go for not that, but you can like do dive kick pressure, you know. And then if you think they're going to swing at something, then you do that, and then that wall splats, and it can break the wall. But the problem is, if the back's to the wall, that pushback doesn't happen. So you are at minus 13, everyone can punish you for it. So this being safe is actually a huge buff, because what it means then is that you can get wall pressure, and you can do wall splats and get into wall combos while being at a distance with Eliza like this. And you can have, and because of the little back sway, if you anticipate an opponent's going to do a move, you can do that and go for the wall splat. And if it if they block it, it's safe. That's a pretty big buff. That's pretty significant. I'm off. Good night. Good night, Gio. I'll tell you this based on what I'm saying before you go. The buffs for Eliza look pretty good. It's not going to bring her to top tier, but the buffs, the changes for her are pretty significant so far. So have a good night, though. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 3 frames. Okay. This is kind of, I mean, both of these are just not really moves that you ever use. It's 1, 2, 4 changed how it is when it lands as a counter hit, which again is so useless because why are you backstepping? Hello? Okay. Again, it's just useless. No one's ever going to get counter hit by that. It probably tailspins now. Eh. 430, change the attack stop from from 18 frames to 16. Okay, this is mid poke. It's minus 9 on block. This is something you see Chanel use a lot when he plays Eliza, and then Eliza players look at Chanel and they're like, "Why are you using that as a poke? Maybe I should try that." And then they try it, and then they just kind of forget it exists. Yeah, this being 2 frames faster, nice, sure, but not that significant. Moonglide 1, decrease the range of the attack. It depends on how much that's decreased, whether that's going to be meaningful or not. But either way, because it's in Moonglide, I don't think it's gonna matter that much anyway. It depends though, because what you could have then, in theory, is if you have like this, and you have your opponent backdashing, and it might be easier to backdash away from it. But again, it's so fast that essentially all it means is that like the effective range for it is slightly less when you start going in the Moonglide. But I mean, you have other options, right? It had God, my throat hurts so much. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you have so many more things you can do. It's just, I don't think that's gonna be too significant of a change. Forward 4, 3 plus 4 during Moonglide 3 plus 4, or not 3 plus 4, 3, 4. I'm losing it. Shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 4 frames. Shorten the recovery time for both the character and the opponent by 4 frames upon guard to speed up the interaction. Okay. Whatever. So, and you might be thinking, oh, but this is a high. If the astute among you may have noticed when I was doing this move. So, Oh, so that means it's going to be hard to duck the second high. Well, you would be correct normally, but this string jails. So, on whiff, you're going to be right. On whiff, it's going to be harder to recognize the move and duck the second high. But in most instances, it's not going to be relevant, because again, it jails. You can't duck the second high on block. So... Oh, the second hit can now be ducked under if the first hit is blocked. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, fuck. That's a pretty big nerf, actually. Wow. This used to be one of Elisa's best, like, get-in tools. And... I mean, this is 4 frames faster, so it's going to be hard to see, but it's still going to be seeable and duckable. That's a big nerf. That's a really big nerf. Fuck. But she now has forward 4-3-3, which presumably is going to be a high mid, because it goes off this. So that's probably going to counteract that. So, by itself, that would be pretty huge. And I still think it is a big nerf. But she has this mid option, not that. So, really what the mid option... That depends on, you know, how punishable is it. If it's minus 12 or more, big nerf. Of course, it depends on what the second hit does, but just in theory, if it's like this, then if it's minus 12 or more, I'd say it's a big nerf. But if it's like minus 10, then I don't know. We'd have to see the move, I guess, to determine if that's a buff, a nerf, whatever it may be, an adjustment. Hard to say. Oh, she got 2 new moves. She got forward 3+4 and forward 4-3-3. Wow. Okay. EX Moonglide 1+2. Change the attack stop from 51 frames to 41. Wow. That's a big buff. So EX Moonglide 1+2 is this unblockable. So this is going to be 10 frames faster in EX Moonglide. Wow, that's pretty good. That's really good. That's a really good buff. Down forward 1-2. Change the opponent's behavior when the move lands as a counter hit. This move is still minus 14 and minus, what, 2 on hit, so it's still pretty useless. Even if it's, if it fucking... well, maybe. Because now I have to think of, a similar move with Alisa. And a similar move with Alisa that's like this is, I guess back... I can't even remember the move. I'm dying over here. I guess back 4-3. There was another better example. But let's just go with back 4-3. No, god damn it, there was another move. Maybe Julia's Potty Crasher, I guess. She can just keep doing, like, the elbow, but if you swing into it and then she does the 4, then you get screwed. So maybe if it does that. But either way, it's still +2 on, or minus 2 or 4 or something like that on hit, and minus 14 on block. So I guess what you can do then is you can do like this. And then if they swing, you can do that. And then that could either be they block it, and then you got minus 14, or you get a combo. I don't know. That's going to be one of those things we'll have to see. But this is either decent or useless. So at least it's not nerf. Down forward 3. Change the frame advantage when blocked from -8 to -6. It's pretty good. Shorten the recovery frame after the move hits by 2 frames. Enable the move to cause a wall bound if it hits. Damn, that's a buff. Ooh, look at this. Change the attack stop from 25 frames to 24 frames. That's a pretty significant buff too. And you might be saying, oh, it's 1 frame. Who gives a shit? Well, the reason why you give a shit if you're an Eliza player is because previously, this traded with a jab. Like that. But if it's 1 frame faster, then that means nothing can beat it. So, but at the same time, it's still steppable. I don't remember what direction. Yeah, like that. So it's still steppable. But it just means that people have to learn the Alisa matchup now a little bit more. Because it's not like that this is going to be... Okay, so here's the thing, right? This is going to be insignificant if you like Chanel or something, right? But if you're playing... Even at the blue ranks, this is going to be significant. Because again, no one knows the Eliza matchup. Some people do. But not a lot of people do. And not a lot of people know that you can sidestep this right. Or sidewalk it right. And launch it for it. So... Yeah, you can sidestep it. So... If you're playing against someone who knows that, then completely insignificant. But... This is just going to cause people to have to learn the matchup more. Which I think is good. I think that's a good thing. And it's still punishable, so... forward 1+2. Change the opponent's behavior when hit by the 3rd hit in midair. Okay, whatever. Forward 1. This is... now +6. Oh my god. Shorten the recovery after the move hits by 2 frames, increase the move's tracking. So this is, shortening the time after this move hits by 2 frames is really good for wall combos. You could already convert to a wall combo after this wall splat, but that just makes it better. And increasing the move's tracking is really good too. So, that's Elisa's moveset. And if you want to see forward 1 real quick, it's that. Yeah, that being +6 is fucking huge. So that means she essentially has, like, Alisa Dragunov's instant while running 2, but with 1. Like that. And that's really good. So, what Jill was saying before in the chat, where he was saying people were saying the Alisa changes were insignificant, not true at all. Those people who are saying that don't play Eliza. Guaranteed. These changes are... some of them are definitely very significant. Looking at some of these changes, like, for example, this, tells me that there are going to be more combo opportunities with stuff like the, Dive Kick 3. And I'm doing it too early. And, what it also tells me is stuff like this is going to be much more riskier to jab interrupt, because you have the possibility of, them doing this. I can't do the fuck. I keep doing it too quickly. God damn. And doing something like this, right? And if this does what I think it's going to do, which will cause a bounce, then that's going to be really scary to want to contest. And then there's some other stuff, like, EX Moonglide 1+2 being 10 frames faster. That's pretty big. She's getting 2 new moves. That could be great. It could be nothing, but it could be really, really great. Forward 3+4, the second hit can now be ducked. But that means that now a forward 3 is a mid. So previously, forward 3-4 was her main tool to get in. And again, normally you would see this as a big nerf, a really significant nerf. But with forward 3-3, we'll obviously have to see what the move is and what its properties are. But this will probably counteract this nerf. And it could be really, really good, and it could be so good that people don't want to contest the high. It could just be one of those moves. So we'll have to see on that. But again, if it's like -14, then but then that might not be good. But Eliza players will just adapt and change their playstyle, just like how we did in when Season 2 came around. I say I didn't really stop playing Eliza again too recently, because Season 2 Eliza gave me so much of a fucking headache I had to stop playing her. But playing her again, I understand how she works now, and she's fun. But now it seems like instead of just kind of changing how they want you to play Eliza, they're saying, okay, let's just keep it how it is and make her better. Other things that are really significant. Core circle back 3 plus 4 being -9 instead of 13. Now, that's a huge buff. Core circle back 1 plus 2 is a pretty nice change. It's a nice little quality of life thing because the down 3 is so inconsistent. What else? All of these being able to go in the crouching stance now by pressing down. That could either be useless. That could either be a really huge buff because now you could do like a fireball and then on block you can do like that or something, right? Or maybe that's just a combo now. Because right now that's not even a combo. But maybe because you can immediately transition into crouching, maybe that suddenly becomes a combo. That's probably what it is, actually, thinking about it. That probably means that you can combo off her fireball if you're close. Her fireball 1 anyway. So, yeah, I think the buffs to, or the changes to Elisa rather, because she did get a nerf, but I think they're very, very significant. And I think if you don't think they're significant, you either don't play a lot of Eliza, play Eliza in a very gimmicky manner, or are just new to Eliza, or just, I don't know. I don't know how you can't think these changes aren't significant at all if you play Eliza, because, yeah, these are some pretty big changes. They really are. These are some pretty big changes, and I think they're really good for the character. The only thing that I don't like about all of this, and this is something that all of us Eliza players have been saying forever, they didn't change down 3. And, yeah, we don't want it to be like Akuma's, granted, but right now, the hitbox on down 3 is, wonky, to put it lightly. Down 3 into DP is a really good thing for Eliza, but my god, sometimes, like, because the problem is this is launch punishable, and this is really inconsistent, so you mix those two, and sometimes, again, it's like I said before, you'll be really close to your opponent like this, but you'll be slightly off axis or something, and then all of a sudden, that just gets blocked, and then you get fucked. So, the only thing I'm kind of upset about with the Eliza changes is that down 3 didn't get changed at all. But, again, at the same time, I don't want her being like Akuma. But, at the same time, this doesn't even lead to a combo unless you're at the wall. Like, if you're up here, the only thing this leads to is a DP. And granted, yes, that is a 34 damage unseeable low. Yeah, that knocks down. But it's still, if you fuck up the clean hit, it's still launch punishable, right? And you can't hit confirm it. So that's kind of the trade-off there. And I wish that this was more consistent. But they didn't change it, which kind of sucks. So that's really the only thing I have to, I guess, complain about it. But I guess at the same time then, what you can do is you can, if you really want to, and you're not trusting down 3, is instead what you can do, because they changed core circle back 2, this is now +2 on hit. What you can do now is you can do down 3 in the core circle back 2, and you can still do pressure, because you're at +2. So, again, I wish they changed this, but, you know, they made it so that this isn't launch punishable anymore, so if you fuck up the range, or it's just like one of those instances where for some reason this is having that inconsistent hitbox, you won't get launched for it by some characters. No character can launch you for it, which is good. And again, this does 2 less damage. It doesn't have any Oki, though, so that kind of sucks, but if you're really just not feeling it, or you just want to do the safer option off of down 3, you can do this. So, that's Eliza. Yeah, Eliza's not going to be the worst in the... Well, it depends on the changes to other characters, but I think looking at these changes and looking at Yoshimitsu's changes, I think Eliza's probably going to be better than Yoshimitsu in Season 3. That's going to be my hot take. I just, on paper, I think looking at these changes, I think Elisa is going to be better than Yoshimitsu at least in Season 3. And I think Yoshimitsu, again, on paper, hot take here, I think Yoshimitsu is going to be one of the, if not the worst character in Season 3. Just looking at his patch notes. But we'll see. The new moves will tell. Because for all we know, right, all these changes with Yoshimitsu and Eliza are revolving a lot around these new moves they have. And it's not like, you know, and they can only be good, right? Because the worst case scenario for a new move is that it's useless. They can't give you a new move and nerf her by giving her a new move, right? So it could be the same for Yoshimitsu too. They could be giving Yoshimitsu another godlike move and we just don't know, and that's why he barely got anything. And then for Eliza, like, she got all of this good shit, and then they give her 2 new moves, but one of them is, well, both of them are useless, and then her forward 3-4 just gets nerfed to oblivion. And then, yeah, she gets some buffs, some nerfs, and then she's kinda a little bit better than where she was before, but we kinda have to change how we play her again, and that kinda sucks, so. Yeah, we'll see. But just on paper, not taking the new moves into consideration, this seems pretty good. This is a really good sign. I think she's going to be, I'm not going to say that after this she's going to be around where all the other characters are, especially seeing how Akuma and Law haven't really been changed at all in their top 10, top 15. But it's going to make her not the worst character in the game, at least, I think, which is good. So think of it this way, right? If Alisa was the only one getting changes in Season 3 and she got these changes, where would she be at? She would at least be better than Gigas. That's for sure. She would at least be better than Gigas. She would be approaching below average. On paper. Maybe average. Somewhere around there, right? And looking at top 10 characters not being changed to Akuma and Law, really, I mean, Law did get some nerfs, but he also got some buffs, and the nerfs are kind of minor, and one of his moves is getting replaced, and we don't know what's getting replaced with, but just basically, they're not really changing much. So if we look at it that way, then, yeah, they're pretty good buffs, right? It's going to bring her up a bit. And, you know, if Eliza is still the worst character in the game after all of this, after all of the changes, either 2 things have happened. Either, 1, there's a new top 10, and they're even better than the old top 10, and oh fuck, or 2, that just means the game is getting even more balanced and all of the characters are coming closer together, which is good. So whatever the case, I think this is good. I think the changes to Eliza are good. I'll do Gizmo. My throat is starting to die, and I want to get through Julia. So let's do Julia, and then I'm going to call it a day, and then I'm going to briefly go over the rest of the characters, except for a few, like, Lei and Lillian. You know, characters that I've dabbled in, or I have friends that play them, or stuff like that. But, tomorrow when I go through this is going to be more, glancing at stuff, because it's going to be a lot of characters I don't really know too well, but I wanted to get through the characters I know. And let's end today with Julia. Well, rather, characters that I main. Julia. Yeah, people saying that the Eliza changes are insignificant are just wrong. I don't know what else to tell you except you're just wrong. You are. They look pretty significant. Alright. During spin behind 1+2. 2 more damage. I need to throw this up. Sorry. Change the frame advantage on hit from +3 to +4. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. That's pretty... Okay, so the reason why that's so significant then is because... with some characters, I believe, if I'm remembering right, because it's been a while since I've played against characters with back turn moves, but if I'm remembering right, and this was more stuff that I lapped, when you do this into this, if they have a back turn move, then sometimes they can beat some of the mix-ups you have. Because when you do this with Julia, you have a mix-up. They have to choose a way to defend, and if they choose wrong, they get hit. But with some characters with certain back turn moves, they can get around that. They can get around that mix-up. So by making... First off, the damage increase is nice. I mean, it's a 12-frame punish, and it's doing 2 more damage, and normally, how much damage does it do? It does 30, so it does 32 damage as a 12-frame punish. You know, that's a little bit above average, I think. And, you know, just making it +4 now and closing the distance between the two characters, it's just gonna make it so that she not only does that as a 12-frame punish, but now she can mix up pretty much anyone off of this, which is pretty big. But it's not that big because it's only against specific matchups. So 1-2, increase the damage from 8 to 10. So that's normally this, when you can go into spins. Okay, 2 more damage, whatever. Wind roll, 31 + 2, reduce the strength of the pushback, made the move easier to land. Okay. For 2-1-2, 20 damage, change the opponent's behavior when hit. So that's this. This is a move that isn't really used because it's kind of, yeah. Oops. Yeah. So what you do instead with Julia is you do this. Free mix-up. It's just infinitely better. Because, again, this isn't natural. So... And when it's saying change the opponent's behavior when hit, that means the 3rd hit. So... I don't know what this could mean. I don't know. Maybe it's like... I'm trying to think of something. It's probably something to do with another thing that's been changed. But... Okay, let's say you do that. Right? Like, you can't even do a down jab. See, this is what I'm trying to get at, right? I mean, you can, but it'll just do that. I guess I did the wrong input. But yeah, the point is that, like, this is just, yeah. It's just so good. It's like, there's no point to doing this. So, what the change could be probably doesn't matter. Even if it leads to a fucking screw on normal hit. Just, okay, this is still better. Okay, maybe if it leads to a screw on normal hit, maybe it'll be useful in some situations, but... Move's whack. 4-2-4. Change the damage from 16 to 17. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. I was doing the wrong thing. So, this is an alternate 12-frame punish for Julia. In case their back is to the wall and you don't want to put your own back to the wall and do that. This is an alternate 12-frame punish. So, it does 1 more damage. Which, I don't know, I guess to put it more in line with a 12-frame punish, I guess. And decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. So I guess... Because couldn't you do... No, you couldn't do war jumps from there. Okay, so I don't really use this too often. So I didn't know. It has a very niche use. It still has a use, granted, but it has a very niche use. So I didn't know if war jumps could be used here. But, yeah, it can't. I think if you do it quick enough while they're doing that recovery animation... No. I thought you could. But, either way, yeah, just... insignificant. Forward 1+2. This is her armor move. Made the move less likely to put you on the other side of your opponent, which would occur under certain conditions. And by certain conditions, they mean the goddamn wall. Or if both Julies use the move at the same exact time. Okay. Fun. Down back 4-1. Yeah, just fixing hitbox issues. Great. change the damage from 21 to 23. Change the input window for the second hit from 22 to 24 frames. So, does that mean that this is counter hit confirmable then, maybe? Because this is only natural and counter hit. So, maybe that's what they did. I don't even know if there's a way to tell if it counter hits or not. Is there? I guess more sparks? Let's turn this off. I mean, just thinking about this logically, what it means is that you should be able to counter hit confirm this, but there's no way to tell if you counter hit it or you hit a counter hit with it. God, that's opposite. So weird change. I guess it just means you can delay it more, so you can catch. There's a bigger probability of catching your opponent off with the second hit, but it would be better if it was counter hit confirmable. Up forward 4-3, her hop kick. Fixed initially in which the second hit's input window would vary depending on whether the previous hit landed or was blocked. So, if you didn't know, if you are a Julia player, or if you're not a Julia player, she has a just framing with her hop kick. It's clearly a bug. So, if you get the timing right on this, the second part of this kick won't come out on block, but it will come out on hit, making this effectively safe if you get the timing right. So there, I just did it. So they fixed that, so you can't do that anymore. So it's always going to be, what, minus 14? I think, I know hop kicks are usually minus 13, but I think hers is special, and it's minus 14. But, yeah, bug fix. Which is good, because that was overpowered as fuck. So, yeah, that is something that should have been changed. Forward 4-2. Change the frame advantage on guard from minus 14 to minus 13. Alright. Just turning Julia back into, or more into, rather, minus 13 the character. Change the opponent's behavior when guarding the move. Increase the recovery time after the move hits by 1 frame. So what I'm guessing by change the opponent's behavior when guarding the move is, if we do it right now, she's in standing. So what I'm guessing then is that this is going to put her, or put the opponent in crouching. Which means that against certain characters, this is going to be a huge nerf. But for the most part, it's going to be a huge buff. I'm guessing. And then change the recovery after the move hits by 1 frame. So maybe that means you'll get a guaranteed follow-up after this then. Maybe. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Down, forward 1. So shotgun. Is now 12 frames. Okay. The move can now be performed using an advanced input. What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean core circle forward 1? An advanced input. I'm assuming they meant advanced, which I'm assuming is core circle forward 1. But who knows? Who the fuck knows? Japanese translation. Forward 2. Change the damage from 15 to 12. Okay. Reducing your combo damage slightly. With scaling, because that's a combo move, with scaling, that essentially means that she's lost 2 damage. 1 to 2 damage. Okay. While crouching 2. Decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Okay. Sidestep 4 is a new move. Approach enemy. Forward 3, 1 plus 2 is a new... Wow, she got 3 new moves. And approach mid-air enemy. Forward 3, 1 plus 2. Was this a move she had in previous? I feel like it is. I feel like these are all moves that she's had before. Right? Are they? I feel like they are. I feel like I recognize the inputs, especially sidestep 4, but I might be misremembering. I probably am. But 4, 3, 1 plus 2. Okay. Oh, it's a grab from this, so you can do into a grab. And you can do it in midair. That's cool. So that's something I don't think that she's had before, but this I think she has. This I feel like I recognize. So, well, I think the grab isn't going to be that useful, and the reason why I say it's not going to be that useful is because she doesn't have any grab in this stance. So, if she's going into here and she grabs you, you don't even have to look at the hands. You just know it's a 1+2 break. And, yeah, I guess you can, like, delay it, but by then it's, like... I don't know. Yeah, so the grab, I think, is going to be good in combos, but probably not useful at all in the neutral. Sidestep 4, we'll have to see what that is. Again, I feel like I recognize that move. I feel like that's a move she's had before, but I'm probably wrong. But those are Julia's patch notes, I guess. So just buffs. I guess buffs and bug fixes and hitbox adjustments. So I guess really significant stuff here. Spin behind 1+2. Maybe the grab off of forward 3. Maybe. Sidestep 4 could be good. It could be just another sidestep move. They're usually bad. What else? Forward 2 be -13, and presumably now putting them in crouch. Probably a pretty good change. The changes to shotgun. It being 12 frames might fuck up combos now, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be the same. Bug fix on her hop kick, which was needed. I'm not even going to worry about that. That was just something that needed to be done. Because let's face it, that was kind of ridiculous. Down back floor 1, I wish that was counter hit confirmable, but it's just, you can delay it by 2 more frames, which is, it's something, but I don't think it's going to be that useful. I'm glad they're fixing the hitbox issue with forward 1+2, but they didn't fix the hitbox issue with this move. Oop. My 2 button just didn't work there. Great. They didn't fix the hitbox issue with that at the wall, which kind of sucks, but maybe they can't reproduce it consistently. So if that's the case, then fine. I understand from a game development perspective why, if you can't reproduce it consistently, why you wouldn't try to fix it, but still kind of sucks that that's a thing. Yeah, just some buffs and some bug fixes. Cool. I'm alright with that. Yeah, Katarina. Yeah, so those are the characters that I wanted to go over today. Ooh, my throat hurts. I was gonna say my controller hurts. I wanted to say my hand hurts and my throat hurts, but I'm a mess right now. So let's go over characters real quick. Characters that I went over today. Are there any I missed that I wanted to look at today? I don't think so, right? Yeah, because my mains for right now are Julia, Eliza, Yoshimitsu, and Alisa. And other characters that I'm really interested in looking at, but I'm not going to look at right now, because I don't play them that often, are Leo, Asuka, Lily, Lei. I was looking for him. Yeah, and then characters I'm more interested to see how they changed were Kazumi, Lucky Chloe. Someone said Claudio got a low. Gigas, of course. Feng. So I want to play Feng at some point. Xiaoyu, I don't really play her anymore, but if she got nerfs, I might play her again. Lee, the Bears. There are quite a few characters I do want to have a look at. Miguel, Jin, of course. Geese, of course. But for now, the characters I looked at today. Eliza. got some pretty significant changes. I think she got some pretty significant buffs. I think a lot of it's going to hinge on us actually seeing her in Season 3, though. More than any other character I looked at, because there's so much up in the air. But in terms of stuff we know for a fact, looking at it, we know that this is how it's going to be. We know this is what is going to change. She got some pretty good buffs. So I'm quite again, I wish they changed down 3, but I'm from what I saw, I'm quite happy with what she got. I'm not happy with forward 4 or 3-4 being duckable, but maybe forward 3-3 is going to make up for that. Julia got some adjustments, which I think is fine because she's upper, she's like somewhere between mid tier and top tier, somewhere between there. She's good, but she's not great. So I think adjustments for her make a lot of sense, and that's what she's got. And outside of just adjustment, she got some buffs that could be minor, could be really good, and she got 3 new moves, which is, and the forward 3 into the grab that she got, which works in midair, could change up her combos. It might not. We'll see. Yoshimitsu got absolutely fucked. He got fucked. They did him worse than they did Gigas in Season 2. And they just did the same thing with him like they did in Season 2. They're like, here are some adjustments to make your moves work more consistently, and we're gonna take this as a nerf. Bye! That's what they did with Yoshimitsu again. And he's one of the worst characters in the game. So it just doesn't make sense for them to nerf him again, but they did. At least I think they did. Based on how it's worded, it might be a mistranslation, but based on how it's worded, his counter hit, forward 3, will no longer lead to a combo with Kin 1+2 anymore. It's going to cause them to be considered airborne 4 frames faster, so if he does forward 3 counter hit into 1+2, it's going to cause them to be airborne. It's not going to do as much damage. It's going to push them back, and you don't get the guaranteed back turned down forward 1. Now, what this could also mean is that it leads to an actual combo. You can screw off of it on counter hit. It could be just an adjustment. Like, we don't want you to be able to combo off this with Kin 1+2, but we still want you to be able to combo off him. We don't want you to get nerfed really bad, so we're going to make it so that if this counter hits, you can screw off it. That might be how it is, but based on how it's worded, it tells me that he's just getting nerfed. He's just getting nerfed, and he's having some adjustments. Sorry, I'm trying to stop myself from choking on my own vocal cords. So he got Yoshimitsu, I guess. And then last for my mains, Alisa. She's fucking buff now. God damn. She's looking good. Yeah, she looked good. Yeah, the Cabbage Patch Kid got some pretty good buffs. It's like I said, she went from being below mid tier to just looking at what she's getting in Season 3. She's going to be above average at worst. Assuming that everything else in terms of changes kind of stays where it's at now, like with Akuma and Law. Let's go into them a bit. They barely got anything changed. They're like, yeah, they're good. Law being top 10, yeah, let's keep him at top 10. Someone's got to be at top 10, right? And that's kind of how it was for Akuma, too. But again, for Akuma, I could see it because he's very high execution, so he should be higher on the tier list. He does have a lot of really dumb things, but they didn't even change that. He can still do a touch of death combo if he wants to, right? Akuma's still really, really good. He can still kill you off a 10-frame fucking move. Excuse me, and not only that, but now his Rage Art he can go into his Rage Art off a fucking screw. He doesn't have to be at the wall anymore in a combo. So basically, at the end of the day, yeah, his fireball damage got nerfed a bit, so his touch of death combo is going to be maybe not quite touch of death anymore. Maybe it's going to be like you have 5 HP left if you have 100%, but he basically got buffed, and he's already so good. So maybe it's Capcom giving Namco the little nudge, but I doubt it because I don't think they would do that. I think Akuma's just going to be really good. And again, Law, top 10 character, barely got any changes. So, you know, looking at that, if you think like, okay, so Law got some adjustments, Goki got some adjustments and a buff with his Rage. If you look at that and then you look at Alisa got fucking buffed. Like, if you take Elisa's changes and you think, okay, Season 3, only Elisa got changes, where's she on the tier list now? She's probably going to be where most people don't actually know how Elisa works and know her matchup and just throw her a random spot on the tier list because, oh, Delve 3 is too good when it's a seeable 17 damage low. That's launch punishable. No one launch punishes because everyone just blindly looks at the frame down and thinks it's minus 13 or some dumb shit when it's not. Anyway, people just don't know the Elisa matchup. It's like, let's throw on the tier list. She's really dumb and she's really good because I never look at the matchup. So I'm going to put her at, like, top tier. And she wasn't in Season 2. She wasn't in Season 1. There's a reason why she's been at the same exact spot in the tier list since Season 1, even though she got the most significant buffs in Season 2. Because no one knows how she works. No one knows how to play against her, so they're just like, I don't like playing against her. I'm just going to say she's good. And hope that Harada nerfs her when she's already not great. In Season 1, she was one of the worst characters in the game. Season 2, below average. Season 3, I think she's finally going to be where people are just blindly throwing her on the tier list. Above average at worst. I think she could be top 15, looking at the changes. It looks good for her. It looks good. And assuming, like, Devil Jin and Jin and Geese in line, like, these top 10 characters are in line with the changes that Akuma and Law got, then, yeah, I feel pretty confident in saying Elisa's going to be above average in Season 3. So, yeah, all of you people putting Elisa up there on the tier list are finally going to be right. It only took you more than 2 fucking years to finally get something right, but you got it right. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, you all just see into the future. You just knew. You were seeing into Season 3, and you just knew that, you know, she's up there. You just gotta wait, all of you Elisa players. Yeah. So, in terms of, I guess, character placement for Elisa then, she's going to be better, for sure. She's not going to be the worst character in the game anymore. I think it's going to be the same thing with Elisa. With Elisa, people don't know how she plays. They just know that when they play against Elisa, they get hit by gimmicks, and they think she's really good when she's not, because they don't know how to punish fucking anything. Like, they don't know how that you can sidestep left to back 1, 2, 4, and launch it for it. No one knows that. So, people just throw her in, like, yeah, she's, like, average. And, really, she's the worst character in the game. She's worse than Gigas. She is. If you play Eliza, she's worse than Gigas. And the reason why is because if you have the execution with her, then she's better than Gigas. But because she requires the most execution of every character in the entire game to get anything done, outside of just doing, like, really simple 45 damage combos, which you can do with Eliza, to be fair, especially because, again, no one knows the matchup. That's why I say she's worse than Gigas. And that's also why I say Akuma isn't top 10. Because a lot of people would put Akuma in top 10 because he can do these touch of deaths and stuff, but it's the same as Eliza, right? Like, even though he can do that, you need a lot of execution to be able to do it. And if you have that execution, then he's one of the best characters, if not the best character in the game. But most people outside of, like, Super Akuma or something like that don't. But with Eliza, if you have that same execution, she goes from being the worst character in the game to, like, where Lei is. She's still one of the worst characters in the game. And people will put Alisa above that because they just don't know how to deal with her gimmicks. But because you have to take that execution into account when you think of how good a character is, because she requires, in my opinion, the most execution of every character in the entire game to be able to really do anything with her, at a high level anyway. She's the worst character, to me. And I think, again, like Alisa, with these changes, she's going to be more where people that don't know how to play against her think she's at. Like, maybe average at best. Average at best. I think she's still not going to be great. She could still very well be bad, especially depending on how forward 3-4 gets changed. That's going to be a really significant thing. That's going to be a really significant move, depending on how forward 3-3 is. Because right now, forward 3-4 is Elisa's best tool to get in. She doesn't really have much else she can do to get into her opponent. And it leads to a combo, which is great and it's safe. It's like one of her only good moves. And think of it like this with Eliza. Eliza's down forward 1-2, minus 14 on block, minus 2 or 4 on hits, one of them, I can't remember. And it's one of her best moves. That's how bad most of her moves are. So, you know, it's one of the few good moves she has, and it's a really good move, and they're making it still exists, but if you can duck the high, it's not good for getting in anymore. It still can be used as a whiff punisher sometimes, but I'm having trouble thinking of practical applications with that move now, if the high can be ducked and is launch punishable. But if the forward 3-3 is good, then that kind of nullifies that being duckable. And it's 4 frames faster now. So we'll see. We'll have to see what the move is, but at the very least, I think she's going up. I think mostly she's going up. And I think she won't be the worst character in the game anymore, but she'll still be average at best. Probably still bad. Probably still bad. But average at best. Could be average. I think that's a bad way to put it. She could be average. And then Yoshimitsu, I think, is going to be the worst character in Season 3. I really do. I haven't looked at Gigas' changes yet, but just looking at Yoshimitsu, I'm looking at how other characters are getting changes and how other characters are getting really buffed. I think, I'm guessing, I haven't looked at Gigas, that all of these other low-tier characters like Gigas, Eddie, Lei, are going to get buffed. And with all of these other high-tier top 10 characters getting getting minor adjustments and staying where they are now, Yoshimitsu is kind of getting left in the dust here. I mean, you already have Eliza, who I've looked at, who has just surpassed Yoshimitsu on paper, I think. And he's getting nerfed. So, I think I have to look at all of the other characters, but I think there's a real possibility that Yoshimitsu is going to be the worst character in Season 3. I really do. But we'll see. And it's not going to... I'm not going to give up on the Manji clan. Even if he's the worst character, because you know me, I play terrible characters, usually. But, yeah, it's still just... Yoshimitsu got fucked. Yoshimitsu got just fucked, I think is the only way I can really put it. So those are the characters I looked at today. Tomorrow, more. But for now, I'm done. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. For the most part, with my mains, I'm quite happy with the changes outside of Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu got fucked. But for the most part, I'm quite happy. I'm quite interested to see what they're thinking with... Again, I've only looked at Law and Akuma, but they're kind of keeping them the same, right? And it seems like they're kind of going for that Soul Calibur approach, where they're like... Or the Tekken 5 approach, where they're like, Let's just make everyone insane. Let's just make everyone dumb. And then in Tekken 8 or Season 4, if we get a Season 4, they're going to start dumbing it down a bit maybe. But it seems like that's what they're doing. They're just making everyone fucking cheap. Which, I don't know. I don't want to say more on it right now because I haven't looked at all of the characters, so I'll just wait until I've looked at all of the characters. But I'm done for now. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. I'm gonna go get a cough drop because my throat is killing me. Goodbye, everyone.